Once he gets it working, it works, but remember, folks, this is why we try to set up early, so we don't have this problem. There he is! He lives.
Now it fucking works.
Now it fucking works.
I swear, you need to start these calls 20 minutes earlier just so I can get in fucking time. I
Well,
hate this.
well, we got here on time, so that's a plus.
I had to
Bling.
physically reboot everything in order to get in here. I don't know why Zoom hates me.
Do not know. But hey, what matters is you're here. We're all here.
Yep.
And I'm gonna put out the notifications, and then we can get rolling.
God, I'm lightheaded.
I know that feeling. I went outside for the first time in a week. Well, since Monday, but for the first time since supposed to be in quarantine. Monday I was out because I went to the hospital or the doctors. It was exhausting. Like, I think it's part of just still being sick, but moving around, and as much as I haven't been, I was tired when I got back. I was like, ugh, people are gross. I can see why this pandemic happened.
Oh yeah, when I get sick, my blood pressure tends to drop, so I just get very easily lightheaded and shit. Just dizzy spells constantly.
Yeah. And I was telling Shay, it's like I went to Walmart and the place is virtually barren, especially in its like food departments, because they didn't issue any rationing, so it was a fucking shit show free for all, for people just grabbing stuff.
You expect Walmart to ration?
Oh, I didn't. I went there. I went there to enjoy the shit show and see what was available, and there wasn't much. It was really slim pickings. But then I went to the Fries, like not even 5 minutes away, and like the good people that they are, they actually had strict rationing for people. Like nobody could panic buy all of the shit. And like the essential stuff like meats, breads, eggs, milk is all limited to 2 per person. And it was nice because they still had a stock of everything because they weren't letting people just buy shit because they were panicking.
My husband went out today and he went to the meat market first, and he said that he had to wait 20 minutes just to even get inside. And then he went to the 18th Street Market, which is like just a really small
little shop
grocery store, and he's like, there was nobody in there. Like they had all of their shelves were stocked and they had like nobody in there.
I feel like if we start running out of supplies here, my folks and I are gonna have to start just doing like the shop right from home or some shit. Because both of them are still...
Ooh.
My mom's getting over whatever she has. My dad's apparently got walking pneumonia.
Yeah, that's not good.
So gotta stay away from him.
Shay, I'm gonna send you something, not to cut Morph off, but my dad sent me something for the area. Once we get moved in, we should check this out. Also, I haven't heard Shay speak. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, just quiet. Rez is freaking out because I don't have a beard. Yeah, surprise shave. Joke's on you. Hey, you all stop being sick. Yeah, the story for the beard is I trimmed it down for the illness and pandemic, and then it cut too far on one side, so I shaved it off. It'll probably be back to a respectable growing length by the end of the week. End of next week.
Got my horrible mustache going on, just because I haven't had time or energy to shave.
Yeah, I want the mustache to grow better because mine doesn't grow very well. I want one of those thick Magnum PI mustaches. Just be a push broom.
It's like if I had a choice in my facial hair, I'd want like the kind of mustache that connects down into like the full goatee, but I'm not that lucky. For whatever reason.
They have products that'll help those areas grow in, though. Any hoodle. I think we should get started here. Get caught up on our game, because it's been a while.
Yeah, after leaving on such a cliffhanger like 3 weeks ago.
Damn it, Critical Role, why?
What Critical Role do?
It got been a while, stuck in my head.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a funny joke. I remember now. Yeah, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since we played. But if we all remember, what happened the last time we played was you all had recovered Duke Ravengard? Ravengard. Uldir Ravengard, Lord of the Flaming Fist and one of the Dukes of the City of Neverwinter. He kind of assumed control of the situation when most of the ruling body of Elturel died in the planar shunting that had put the city in hell. With what remaining guards and his own entourage, they had ventured to the Grand Cemetery to seek out an artifact belonging to Helm that would help them figure out what to do to protect the remaining citizens of the city. Most of the people had been killed, all but Uldir fighting against a demon incursion that also wanted to claim the artifact. And Uldir had put the helm on and had become stuck in a battle between Helm and Baphomet that were trying to assume control of the still alive Uldir before your intervention. You all had taken him back to the High Hall where the helm would be exorcised of its evil spirits so that you could remove it from Uldir's head. You all conducted a ritual, Tink nobly sacrificing his icon to Gond, and acting as the catalyst for the ritual while you all defended him against demons that spilled out from within the helm. You all fought a series of monsters, including Will-O-Wisp, a number of other foot soldier demons, and then culminating in a Glabrezu that Lily had smote most righteously with a critical smite. And then you all had retired back to the High Hall to celebrate and enjoy, and Uldir basically said he would stay here and keep an eye on things, rally the rest of the people, try and get them trained to defend themselves, and you all made plans to descend down into Avernus proper to try and find a way to rescue the citizens and get them out of the predicament that they're in. As well as Lulu remembering one of her memories, which was... Somebody remind me, it was the something Emporium.
Wandering?
The Wandering Emporium, yes. She had a memory.
I recall Chukka and Clonk, I believe.
Yes.
Arakocra or Kenku.
Yes, she remembered that she had made 2 friends. The description she gave made it sound like these 2 bird folk were mechanics of some sort riding an infernal hell machine. It's a machine that, by description, none of you really have an idea of what it was, aside from Tink, who could kind of fathom the way such a device could work, even if they hadn't seen one personally. They're like, oh no, that makes sense. You connect this with that, and you put this together. In theory, it should work, but, it's one of those things where it's like, but it's hell, so I don't actually know how it works because I've never seen one. And with that, you all stopped to take a long rest without anybody realizing Valkarin had snuck off to either get herself killed or have some... It ended up leading to her having some... But that's where we pick up in the morning. I guess, Dido, I should pose to you first. Do you want to have her make her way back, or do you want them to find that she isn't there?
No, she would try and make it back before anybody else woke up.
Okay. As an elf, you have that luxury since you only need 4 hours of sleep. Also, it seems the music has stopped. I need to fix that. Okay.
Also, you can just say she banged.
Yeah, she banged. She smashed.
She smashed.
Thankfully, she didn't get bit or get turned into whatever the hell he was, because it still doesn't say. Who knows? It's
Who
a
knows?
mystery.
Maybe later on we'll find out.
Later on. But yeah, so go ahead and make a stealth roll for me to try and get back in.
It's only a 13.
It's only a 13, which means I need to double check everybody's passives. Okay. Okay. I'm just seeing how many people notice you come back without having to notice you come back. Okay, yeah, that checks out. And oh, that's surprising. Okay. So as you make your way back down into the catacombs, Tink and Gadget definitely notice you coming through. Rhea would also be one, but she's not in the immediate area, so she wouldn't notice. I don't know where Tink and Gadget bedded down for the night, but Lily and Sindarin don't catch it passively.
I'm gonna get my
Sindarin
stuff.
doesn't? That's surprising.
Yeah, that
Wisdom is really shit.
All
of my stats are really shit.
I was also surprised.
I want to try and get the stuff that I left by Lily back.
Oh, okay.
The stuff that she left on Lily's face.
Tink, do you say or do anything, though?
As she walks past, Tink will hold out a bundle of cloth to her with a very tiny badge on the clasp. You might want this. It's something I've been tinkering with because I notice how much you like, sticking to the shadows. It should work like a cloak of elven kind.
Oh, this would have come in handy last night.
Would have come in handy this morning.
It's like sadly, it takes me an entire night to do this kind of stuff, but yeah, if you want to use it, here.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Now you just gotta press the little. There's a little red button right there on the clasp, and that'll.
Just push it.
As long as the hood is up and you press the button, it'll give you. It'll make you nearly invisible to most things.
It lets out an alarm and then says, "Cloak activated."
Cloak activated. Stealth mode engaged. We're hidden.
I want to try it. I'm gonna put the hood up. I'm gonna push a button.
Do they still have to attune to it? Or do they have to attune to it?
Again, what is it?
It would be based off the cloak, right?
Immediately attune it to myself, but I think.
Yes, it says requires attunement.
So she does have to spend an hour before it'll work, but yeah.
So yeah, you would know that it wouldn't work then.
Okay.
So just spend an hour letting that attune to your biometrics. You'll be fine.
Thank you. I
Happy to help.
everything you've done since we've been together.
And I
Helped me
figure
out a lot.
as long as you're harder for the demons to see, that means you can help us stay alive a lot better.
I can certainly try.
And let's face it, I can't exactly make good things for Sindarin to use, so
I have to read. What does this thing do?
Gives you advantage on stealth, I believe.
You could also set the hood up to give everything else disadvantage on seeing you, I believe.
it is both of those things
It is.
at once.
It is
While you
such
wear
a
the cloak with its
powerful.
yeah, it is such a broken one.
While you wear this cloak with its hood up, wisdom perception checks made to see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide, as the cloak's color shifts to camouflage you. Pulling the hood up or down requires an action.
Sweet, so I get to be even creepier with my hood up all the time.
Oh yeah, and it's super broken in just that it gives the permanent disadvantage and advantage.
Yeah. And it's weird because the boots of Elvenkind basically do the same thing minus the disadvantage, but you would still want them even though their abilities overlap because it cuts off sound.
Yeah.
Because, just because you have a really good stealth doesn't mean you're not making a fuck ton of noise.
The cloak is better at hiding visibly. The
Mhm.
boots are better at hiding from sound as well.
Yep.
So
And
it's just sound versus vision.
yeah. And it would probably I would rule it personally that it would mess up tremor sense too.
You'd
Since
imagine that with the boots. 'cause,
Yeah,
like,
since that's just
they're the same
sound
rarity,
waves.
aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's really strange, as there's so much more power in the cloak.
Yeah. Like
Unless you actually went out and, made it so the boots definitely mess up tremor sense and those sort of things.
The
That
difference.
flies and lands directly in someone's face who's wearing those boots. Like, shit, where'd this come from?
The big difference is the boots give you the advantage on the stealth, but they don't grant the disadvantage on perception.
Yep, that's what I said. Yeah, so it's really weird that they're the same power level. The boots don't require attunement either, so that's a plus in their favor. Anyways,
Does the cloak require attunement?
it does.
I just know my my thing.
The cloak
talks
does.
about attunement.
The cloak does require attunement, which is I think what balances it in the boots out. Anyways, so Valkarin, once you're done there, you start heading, looking for where Lily had bedded down for the night. She's not in the common area where all the other people are resting, and it doesn't take long before you notice that Lulu is fluttering near the entrance of an alcove, and she notices you as well, and she kind of turns and gestures you over with her trunk, and it's just like,
I'll walk over to the...
Isn't love just lovely?
Yes, Lulu, love is lovely. Who's in love?
They are. And she points with the trunk, and you see that Lily and Rhea are snuggled up together in this private alcove, blanket covering them, but there are clothes scattered everywhere.
Well, at least I wasn't the only one who had a fun night.
Where did you
How
go?
stealthy were they being?
Incredibly, apparently.
Would I have noticed her when I went and dropped my crap off the night before?
She showed up after you did.
She showed up after you dipped.
Mm-hmm.
They just did it on your belongings.
Oh, that's all the clothes. They just pulled them out of my
Yeah.
bindle.
Yeah, nothing actually happened. We just pulled your clothes out and threw them everywhere.
I'm not sure what they're doing, but they've been hugging for hours.
Well, that's what friends do. They hug.
We should hug sometime.
Sure, Lulu, and I'll give her like a one-arm, like side half awkward hug.
There's a little happy doot.
I'll give you as many hugs as you like, as long as you keep your sparkles to yourself.
Well, I'll certainly try, but everybody loves sparkles.
Not this one. I'm gonna go get my stuff from Lily.
And you start to step in, and once you get about halfway into the alcove, one of Rhea's eyes opens, and she says, "Well, aren't you dressed and ready for adventure?"
Isn't that what we're here for?
It's still quite early.
It looks like you're very undressed for adventure.
It's still quite early. And she kind of sits up, making sure to keep herself modest. What are you doing here?
I dropped a couple of things off. I came to grab them, and I'll be right back out.
Oh, well, she's a heavy sleeper. Talks in her sleep, though.
Not surprising.
You didn't see me here.
Nope.
Okay.
Not at all.
And she kind of just like
But Lulu
reclines
saw
back.
you, so everybody knows.
She kind of like looks past you, and if you look as well, you see just like sparkles as something ducks around the corner, and she's like, "Shit. All right, well, I guess that's done then." Is everybody else awake?
Well, I've only seen Tink and Lulu. Well, and now the dead Lily.
She like looks down. She's not dead, is she? Poke.
Am I dreaming?
Are you dreaming?
I'm asking you because ASMR sometimes have very certain dreams.
Are you asking for a certain dream or dreams in general? Because like you could be eating like a really big marshmallow and there could be a hole in your pillow when you wake up if you really want.
I think she is leading the question towards wanting a holy guidance.
No, I don't think there's a hole in my pillow.
Okay, there's no hole in your pillow.
Just wanted to check. I'm probably.
There might be a wet spot on her pillow.
Yeah, it's low enough that I'm probably chewing on my pillow, but.
Yeah. So the two of you, Valkarn and Rhea, both look down and they see that she is in fact not dead, but like it's the frozen scene where Anna is leaned up against the pillow, snoring and drooling. Just a delightful mess.
Precious.
Well, I should get dressed then. I guess you're all gonna get ready to head down then.
I would assume so.
All right. Well, I'll be sure to see you off.
Gonna get my stuff and go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you head back out. Sindarin, are you awake yet?
Sindarin would be rolling out of his little concave that is made for himself beneath a statue, eventually.
So about the time you roll out, you see that Valkarin's stepping out of an alcove, fully dressed, carrying a sack of stuff. Tink is also awake, and Lulu probably was fluttering out of the area in haste as well.
Seems I missed a meeting over there or something. No matter. Sindarin will, fix himself up. Not that it takes much. He just kind of, flexes a little bit. Then he'll wander over to Sultan O'Branch, to be specific.
Mm-hmm. The little druid.
Precisely.
Morning, friend. You're
Good
looking
morning, friend.
You're looking glistening as always.
Why, thank you. You're looking awake.
That is a state
Anyhow.
of being, yes.
Any chance I could request some good berries?
Oh,
It's been a poor time hunting down in these plains.
Sir-
A few rations.
certainly. But could you do something for me first?
I can certainly try.
He walks over to like a corner of the alcove and he touches as high of a brick as he can get to, and like a bar forms across it. Can you do just like 10 pull-ups for me real quick?
I suppose I haven't done my exercise this morning. I can do that. Then, yeah, Sindarin goes about and does 10 pull-ups.
And he just
Maybe
sit,
not
he
flex,
just
so-
he just no, you got it. He just sits there and he just stares and he's just like, yeah, that's the good stuff. He says, okay, here you go, and he works some magic and he like pulls up a sleeve and he pops out some berries.
Sindarin kind of cups his hand to grab a few.
Yeah, he hands over 10.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, make them
Very
count.
kind of you.
Make them count. They only last for so long.
Understood. I recall from yesterday. On that note, the berries are fantastic and all, but care to fill me in as to what else you might be able to conjure?
Oh,
I trust you're not a man of one talent or anything.
no. But I assure you, it's not much outside of that. I'm just a mere NPC with a basic stat block.
Oh, we'll see about that.
Yeah. Jeez, I gotta remember what his stat block actually was. No, it's just Druid. Okay. Well, I could have a bird send you a message if you really wanted.
That's certainly useful, I'd imagine, when we go below.
Yeah.
He's not even
Very well.
looking at your face.
No, he's not. I'm also a bit of a snake charmer.
Now that is fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
Anyhow, thank you for the berries. I should be off to see the others. Thank you kindly.
Yeah, yep. I'm gonna do what I can. Being down here is actually kind of putting a damper on my connection to the wilds because, you know, it's hell. So I'm gonna make do with what I can, but I can keep giving you all the berries you need for now.
I certainly understand that. Should I find a pot plant or anything while we're out looting the town, I might bring it back.
If it starts talking to you, it's not my fault.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
And I wander off and find the others with 9 berries in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I just have this mental image of an awakened tree like beating the ever living shit out of a bunch of fiends now, like somewhere in the streets.
Did I not tell you that Tiny Bush Tim and gang are also in Avernus, and they have like one of the War Machine gangs that do battle against the forces of hell in the abyss?
While Bushwick sits upon the tank leading the army in his stone-cold voice.
Yep.
Emotionless.
Exactly.
Father, we will fuck up these demons.
Drive me closer so I may hit them with my sword. Yeah, so, yeah, it's, the main group reconvenes in the area. Rhea getting up to get dressed is probably enough to stir Lily. And she kind of looks down and she's like, good morning.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, you weren't so bad yourself. She smiles.
Just kind of like laying there like, oh, that actually happened. Uh-huh.
Not a dream this time.
Uh-huh.
Valkar and Cayman
Oh,
That wasn't part of your dream.
okay.
She picked up the stuff she said she left here. I didn't even notice. But it looked like she had been out, or at least up, well before us. Might have been the elf thing, but...
I didn't even realize she came by before.
Huh.
And
Well-
I just go like completely red.
Yeah, you were asleep. So, I'm gonna finish getting ready, and I'll probably head out before you do, or we can head out together if you like. I'm not sure what you want to do there.
I'll get up and like start getting my armor and everything and all my gear. Well, we still have to figure out how to get down from the city. If Tink wants to figure something out, that's fine.
Tink was
If we're
saying
gonna-
something about a hot air balloon. I'm not sure how much he wants to actually do with that.
Well, at the very least, we might be able to scavenge some climbing supplies, some climbing gear to help us get down.
Hmm.
We'll figure it out. What? No, yeah, I'll just finish getting ready.
Meanwhile, back in the main meeting area, Lulu is hovering over Valkarin, and she's like, "And they were hugging. They were hugging." Lily was
Who said
asleep.
that?
Lily was asleep, but they were hugging.
Lily was asleep the whole time.
It seemed that way.
Understand hugging.
I think they're in love.
Well, if one party is asleep, the other party is awake. It's just hugging.
I think you only just woke Rhea up. You weren't very quiet, you know. Not like you normally are.
It's early.
Yeah, you look really tired. Did you not get enough meditation?
I got all of the meditation I needed. And then some. What do you do all night, Lily? Lulu?
I watched you all sleep. Well, I didn't watch you sleep because I couldn't find you.
Well, I tend to hide in corners. So it's
That's-
a good thing you couldn't hide. You couldn't find me.
You were hiding so much better than you were earlier.
Well, when I come out of hiding, I've got to make sure people can find me eventually.
That checks out. She flutters over, lands on Gadget. So, what are we doing today?
Well, we need to find a way down, so I was thinking we find...
I come out. I'm awake. I'm awake.
Oh, good. So you're awake to hear the plan.
Rhea's right behind her, buttoning up her doublet.
I
So
look
I
at
would-
Ray and I wink.
Rhea just kind of nods. Lily's like, "Morning, lovebirds."
Anyways, I was hoping the group of us could go just about the town and see what we can scavenge, and from there I can see about getting us down.
There ought to be any number of smithies and crafting supply stores.
The question is if they've been cleared out of any usable metal or anything. If wood is more viable to find, I might be able to work with that better.
Well, it
We
might
might
not
have
be
to
in good
repurpose
spirits.
some.
I will remind you as well that you did do an investigation last time we played to find materials, and you did not roll well.
Yeah, no, that was around here. I was hoping if we just got out into the city.
You wanna expand out? Okay.
He was
Yeah.
looking for something specific though. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was stuff to make the blimp.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Tapestries.
I was,
Yeah,
I
he was looking
for anything in the castle that could have been used for that kind of stuff. Or-
Yeah, he was looking for cloth and wood and stuff to make like parachutes and the balloon.
But
Okay.
the keep is very stone, so I figure if we branched out, I could at least use even some of the maybe wrecked houses with some mason's tools and tinker's tools.
Yeah.
I'll also remind you guys that the as the map shows, the pillars that are holding El Terrell up have big chains on them, and the chains are massive. They look like they are scalable, and it looks like the sort of thing that if you go slowly and carefully, you can traverse them.
Don't suppose anyone has Featherfall.
No. Spider climb.
No.
I mean, spider climb.
Still works.
Yeah, no, that
It can
gives
only
you
be used on one person.
that.
Right.
Yeah,
Lily is pretty strong. I'm sure she could carry us all.
Mhm.
I'll just drop Tink or Gadget off, shall I?
You guys have looked over the edge of El Terrell before, right?
Yeah.
You know that it is directly over the river Styx. So if you chuck him over the side, you probably will never see him again.
I was.
I know. I'm just emphasizing that there are environmental hazards directly underneath you. Not only that, but there is like a battle going on the ground level too.
If you want to look for other materials, I'm happy to help, but I still think we can just climb down.
Yeah. I mean, if you did want to chuck Gadget over the edge, just aim him for a large demon, because the falling damage alone is probably enough to kill it, and the experience will level you guys up so far.
If everyone else is confident in climbing down the chains, I will just use spider climb on Gadget and ride him down. But
yeah, like that is an idea.
it's like if I need the spider climb for anyone else, then I can't see any other way of getting Gadget down. Except equipping him with a glider.
Personally, would rather the balloon.
I was gonna suggest we could make like big hamster balls for us and like roll safely off the edge so that they're like,
I
made
don't
of rubber
think I
and
can make
bounce,
anything
but-
that durable.
Just do an egg drop.
Unless we find a hearty supply of like adamantium or some such.
I like this
Very
idea. Like, you guys need to construct egg drop containers and just
Today's
I tried-
adventure,
Just
the
aim
party
for the
dies
biggest
from
fiends down
falling.
there.
yeah.
I tried looking at the tapestries and everything around here, but the only stuff I could find salvageable was for the cloak I made for Val. I couldn't find anything that would support someone's weight in a free fall.
Well, first things first, Rhea, do you happen to know the location of any like blacksmiths or like tool shops or anything around nearby?
She nods and she says it wouldn't be hard to find. There was the person who was posing as a blacksmith as well. I'm sure the actual shop is probably still standing.
Bear in mind, we have a trio of dwarves. I believe one of those was somewhat familiar with crafting tools.
They're dwarves.
They
They're
must
all
have come
familiar
from-
with crafting tools.
Exactly.
Tools aren't really the problem. It's just raw material I need access to.
Yeah.
Well, let's
So
go look then.
yeah, let's go ahead and consolidate this into you guys heading out.
At the very least, we can find climbing gear.
Yeah. So who all is going out with Tink to gather this material?
I am.
I've got nothing better to do, so I will do.
Lily as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so then everybody just give me a group stealth check.
Has it been an hour?
Sure. You guys can leave whenever you want. Like, because there's no rush for it. Okay. Good. That'll be fine there. Oh, yeah, we gotta get Tink in, too. Yeah, that checks out. And Gadget.
Yep. He doesn't get
Here comes the 20.
Oh, it's usually nope, 13.
No. But it's always been better. For
It's
some
always
reason.
been better than Tink, yes.
Alright.
That's why I made the joke originally of shock absorbers.
Yeah. Alright. And now, Morph, give me an investigation with advantage, because you're hitting areas that you know will have the materials you need.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
25.
So, to make this easy, you find the materials that you need. Now just tell me what you're planning to make to get down.
Basically, just finding enough of the things. I was going to swap either metal or wood for the skeletons, depending on what.
Don't even worry about the materials. Just tell me what you're making to get
imagine goblin gliders.
down. Okay, you're making one for everybody.
And building mine onto Tink.
Okay. If you're building several of them, then give me. It's gonna be a crafting check, and I think it needs to either be smithing or tinker tools. Probably tinker tools.
I've got all.
Yeah, I imagine you have both, but so just give me a crafting check. I don't care which one you use, because any of them will really work, except for like alchemy.
What stat do you want? Intelligence?
Give me intelligence, and then actually a dexterity one as well for building it. Because you can plan it out fine, but you have to actually construct it well too.
All right, there's the intelligence. I'll use my thieves tools. It's the same for efficiency, but it's set.
Well, the intelligence will give you advantage since you rolled high, so there you go. I do need it for each of them.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're building multiple.
Let's see. So I need 5.
There'll be
4 for the players, 1 for Rhea.
Don't build one for Rhea.
Don't build one for Rhea?
Nope.
Okay. So just 3 more then.
During this time, I'll keep an eye out and do like a little patrol of the general area.
Okay.
Do I need to do the int every time or?
No. No.
Okay.
I should have specified that, because the int one is just you making schematics and stuff. You're not gonna change your schematics.
That one's a little roughshod then at a 14. 24. And 16.
Okay. Keeping an eye on the area, you don't see anything. You guys had done a good job getting out here, and he took a relatively abandoned workshop to work on. It does take several hours for him to craft these together for you guys, but when they're ready, there's nowhere really for you to test them. You just kind of have to go off of Tink's word that they're going to work. You gather up all of your things, and Lulu kind of flutters beside you guys and is like, "Yep, it's time for us to fly. I sure do hope you guys have it down. Remember to flap your arms really hard and just think light."
So, remind me, Shane, do you have Monk Slowfall yet?
No,
I should
maybe
be able to recall that, but
he
I
should.
don't believe so.
In your unarmored movement yet?
Okay.
I'll take one of the shoddy ones.
Because I'm thinking
I was
Slowfall
going.
is level 5.
I was gonna give Sindarin and Lily the shoddier ones just because they both have a way of
And oh shit,
helping
button, as it
themselves.
were.
Yes.
Oh shit.
And yes, at level 4,
I mean, you
you
don't
should
know.
get
I might
Slowfall.
have an oh shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I
if
did
you
not write
do,
that
I
down.
would like to know ahead of time so I can evaluate who needs which more. But yeah,
Do we happen to?
I don't have an oh shit button.
As
I do. It's called
okay.
levitate. That's it.
As I'm kind of
Yeah.
like moving around and watching the area, do I happen to see any climbing gear for just in case, and another like an empty flask or something?
Make an investigation check. Yeah, you do find that there is some climbing gear. So go ahead and add that to your inventory. Once everything's gathered up and together, Duke Ravengard and Rhea meet you guys at the highest point of the high hall to give you a bit of extra oomph for your descent. Rhea kind of walks up, hugs Lily, kisses her cheek, and says, so I've decided that I'm going to stay here and help Elturel. I can do more good for the people here if there's somebody besides Ravengard that can protect them and help whip them into shape. That means you all need to come back alive because I'm not there to look after you.
I'll reach. I'm not gonna grab my holy symbol. I'm gonna keep that on because I kind of need that. But I am gonna grab like a little, probably just like a little badge or token that I keep on me that I got from Rose, as her student, and I just hand it to Ray and say, "You need to get this back to me when we return."
And she kind of smiles and she says, well, you have to return so that I can give it back to you. Okay?
That's the point.
And
He clenches his teeth.
she kind of like looks at all of you and says, make sure that she gets back too. I don't want to have to find out that she got turned into a lemur because she did something silly and got killed.
Rhea, I know you haven't been like a fan of me this entire time, and we don't really know each other that well, but I hope I've proven I'm kind of trustworthy enough at this point.
You've done great work since I've met you. I apologize for my bias towards your people. It was wrong assuming you'd be like them.
That's completely understandable. I am the exception, not the rule. That's why I want to give you this warning ahead of time. I let Lily know about my feelings and about my thoughts on this. Just keep an eye on how you're feeling while you're here. I don't know how strong demonic contracts are, especially down here in hell, but the way everything was worded in that contract, I'm afraid just being a hell rider might influence towards making you a Narzagon. I'm not certain, but it's something I'm worried about, considering we haven't seen any other Hell Riders down here.
Sorry.
And I didn't want to say it in front of all of the townspeople because I didn't want them to get panicky. If there's one thing I know as a kobold, it's about panicky.
Thank you for the concern. I'll be careful of that. And she kind of looks and she says, watch Lily as well then, because she's technically a Hell Rider now too.
I've made her promise to tell me if she starts feeling any different as well.
The contract only stated that they were giving us to them. A devil still has to put some effort into corrupting people.
That's why I'm advocating caution.
Right. Well, be careful. We'll make sure that the people here are safe. And she just kind of like reaches out and gives you like a pat on what would be the shoulder, then she realizes it's really low and just top of the head, just kind of like, I'm trying.
It's kind of normal to Lily since Rose has 3.
Right, before this gets any mushier, you guys should get going.
Right. So who's up for a test pilot?
I do need to BRB for like 30 seconds.
Okay.
That's okay.
I can go first. I'll test your products.
Someone with one of the more constructionally sound ones. Go ahead and show us how it's done.
Oh, I didn't say who's got which one. Yeah, go ahead if you want to go. Are you ready to jump?
I'm ready to jump as long as we're in the right area we need to be to jump.
Yeah, you guys are where you need to be. You've said your goodbyes, and for some reason, my thingy closed. So let me open that back up.
Ink would be as well.
So the way this will work is like one after the other. You all take off and start going over the side. El Terrell is situated about 500 feet above the river Styx, and as described before, there are two armies clashing with one another. Specifically, the legions of Hell are attacking abyssal forces that are currently on boats that are trying to make shore on one of the sides of the map of Avernus itself. There are winged devils that are flying in, dive bombing and attacking stuff. And as you guys are flying, what you end up seeing is armored legions of devils encircle the enormous posts of infernal iron that anchor Elturel to the rocky ground. Squads of demons, fighting 10 deep in some places, hurl themselves into devils' ranks. Most of the abyssal troop are lowly mains and dretches who die quickly in vain attempts to drag down devils so that stronger demons behind them can strike killing blows. A dark river cuts a path across the blasted landscape and flows directly beneath the city. Floating on the river are demonic barges being assaulted by squadrons of winged devils under the command of a terrifying pit fiend wearing an eyeless helm and clutching a battle standard. So you all are sailing, and surprisingly well, these kobold gliders are holding up with the warm updraft of the infernal hellscape. And I'm going to switch us over from the map to a new map. The map. So you guys are situated on the River Styx. The great thing about this map is it does not need to have a location because El Terrell can be anywhere I want it to be. And distance and time are relative in Hell. You guys are situated somewhere along this dark winding river. The city floats above you. And as you descend down, you start to drift away from where the armies are clashing. Because there is another sight that catches your eye. It is a fortified position along the opposite side of the river. It looks like it's a junkyard, with walls of twisted iron and wrecked debris that makes a perimeter around it. And as you start to descend closer, you can see that there's a sign that's posted up outside of this wall, and it's illuminated with either magic or something that gives it what would be the real world equivalent of like a neon sign, and it's flashing repeatedly, and it says Fort Knucklebone, and then underneath it it says Mad Maggie's Junk Shop.
I like it.
I do too. I think we should try and aim to get down there.
Yep. And Lulu, for all of her tiny bluster, is still keeping up because she has an insanely fast fly speed. She did say 30 seconds, right? Oh, she's back. Okay, great.
Yeah, I've been here.
Okay, good.
I didn't hear the start of that, but I caught most of that.
Okay. You guys are flying towards a fortified junkyard.
Do we have enough height and speed to reach it?
That is a great question. Tink, do they have enough height and speed to reach it?
Yes?
Sure, why not?
It's like I just make sure they can get us to the ground.
On the descent, Sindarin kind of shouts out, "So how do we actually go about landing these?"
With your feet.
Land? Who said anything about landing? Also, here you go. This one's... We all know this picture.
Fancy.
That's you guys. When somebody inadvertently lists too far to the left and falls into the river.
I suggest aiming towards the ground with your feet and making for a little run to cushion your fall.
Oof.
If I take a glance back over my shoulder, do I see anything coming after us?
Make a perception check. Because now that you've asked, the possibility is there.
I mean, it was there anyway.
Could have been.
14.
14. No, you don't see anything. And what you do end up seeing is just more of this reddish, hellish landscape. The sky is perpetually cloudy with breaks of yellow where the sky should be, and like just chunks of molten slag fall from the sky, kind of like the River Styx picture. It's very much a nasty and inhospitable place, and if something were coming, you'd notice pretty easily. But welcome to hell. You've officially made it. Yep, finally. But it doesn't take long. You all angle yourselves in position, pivot, turn, and do your best to really not crash when you go in for this landing. So I do need athletics from everybody. Athletics or acrobatics, actually, because the ability to tuck and roll is a thing. So athletics or acrobatics.
Shock absorbers, go.
To stick the landing.
Shit.
23.
Yeah. So everybody but Sindarin, of course, sticks their landing. So I'm going to give you half of 500 feet falling damage. No, I'm kidding.
It caps at 200 feet, so the joke's on me.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'll give you half of 200 feet. So it's 100d6.
I might actually be able to negate that entirely.
Yeah, no. You have slow fall, right?
Yeah.
Is he near a wall?
No. So
Guess who had the faulty one?
yeah, guess who had the faulty one? Yeah, actually, that's about
Was there any doubt?
yeah, basically. Well, if somebody
That's not a thing anymore.
had a bad roll, it's bound to happen. Anyways, so we'll keep it simple. It'll be just there. You go. You don't quite stick the landing. You like twist your ankle or something when you come down. But when you
On the contrary, I'll use slow fall to negate it by up to 30, but I'll just slam the glider into the ground and
Okay.
kind of roll through it,
Yeah,
smashing it entirely.
you fucking nose plant it and then you tuck and roll after, and that's where the dings and scrapes come from. And so
Well, the good news is I don't think we were going to be using these to get back up.
You mean these
And that's
don't fly up?
They're gliders. They glide.
How the hell are you getting back
The
to
balloon,
Elturel?
on the other hand, those go up.
That's what the climbing gear was for, I think.
Do the gliders fold?
Yes.
This one doesn't.
That one does.
His
Zara
doesn't.
kicks the mangled fucking.
And
like,
Tig
wreck.
just presses a button like between Gadget's shoulder blades as his glider folds back into the main body.
And then you all realize that your gliders don't do that, just Tink's.
They fold up into little squares that can go in a backpack easily. He understands folding joints. Maybe Lily's just kind of hangs a little bit on one side.
It's like one of the wings is like loose, so it just kind of like one of those joints just kind of like dangles as it's folded.
I'll have to have a look at that one later.
That's fine. It works, and I just have it.
So you all had landed as close as you could, but there's still going to be some time walking. And this time is largely spent moving across the open, hellish landscape. You can still hear the sounds of the battle in the distance. But before long, you come to a site of Fort Knucklebones itself, and what you see is a fortified compound that sits atop a low plateau that rises out of the crater's pocked landscape. At the center of the compound is a hill of rust-covered stone that resembles a hand clawing out of the ground, with gaps between the fingers. Jagged wall made of rocks, bones, and metal debris surround the hand-shaped hill. Other highlights visible from the distance include a gatehouse, atop which stand a half-dozen small figures on watch.
I don't suppose you have any means of enhancing vision.
What does Gadget see?
Does Gadget have a way of enhancing his vision from a far distance?
He's got a natural +5 to perception, so I just rolled.
Okay. Does Gadget have any way of communicating to you what it sees?
I imagine there's some sort of interface.
Is there a way for it to communicate to you what it sees?
Let me take a look again.
So what are these that we see right now? A hand-shaped hill, and
The wall,
and
a gatehouse, and small figures standing
Okay.
atop it.
Specifically, I'm most concerned about those small figures.
Does it speak any languages or anything more? Does it have like telepathy or something to communicate to you?
It understands all the languages I speak. It does not specifically say any. No.
Okay, so
He would have like little indicative ways, like pointing like a greyhound or something.
so it
if something were
gestures
going
it gestures to the top of the gatehouse where you see that there are little figures standing watch.
Well, we could try asking those guys.
did meet them before.
Usually a gatehouse carries certain, well, expectations. Do
Like-
we really want to be speaking to them?
Well, we want to get inside. Sometimes speaking is what you have to do.
And they've got a junk shop inside, so I assume they're ready to do business.
I'll be back in about a minute.
Yeah, and I think we'd rather try keeping a good rapport instead of
Diplomacy.
barging in. Yeah.
Want to try diplomacy?
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? We could just talk to them, Lulu
We
says.
could just talk to them. As much as I prefer
Ren?
to shoot them and kill everything.
What is the rule about using NPCs to jinx us?
I'm just playing Lulu the way she's supposed to be played.
Lulu, do you remember how your interactions with these two went?
Are these the same? Are these the same ones?
Yeah. Well, we're assuming they're still there.
I mean, the guys on the walls right now.
We don't know.
Lulu did tell you guys about this place, though, yes?
Yeah, she did.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure I gave you that information. She says, well, I don't have any bad memories of being here, but I don't have any many memories at all. I remember that Chukka and Clonk were very nice. They were my friends. I don't think there'll be any problems. Why would there be any problems? I'm
Yeah,
certainly
always
still
hope for-
I'm certainly still alive, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Hope for the best, but be ready for the worst, I guess.
I'll leave the talking to you.
So should we approach them? I mean, we want inside anyways.
Yeah, we'll approach.
Do you want me to go first?
We won't be able to get inside if we don't approach.
Would
Yes,
you like
that
to?
was a JoJo's reference.
Not particularly, but I can.
Okay.
I do better from afar.
Yeah, I
I
don't
can
know.
take the
If
lead. I can take the lead on this one, I think.
I could stand there with you. I feel like you'd be the better at talking. I get timid.
That's all right.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the things on the walls and around us so we don't get attacked from behind or anything.
Oh, that's something I needed to point out because I don't know how often this would have actually come into effect in our recent combats, but Gadget has a ability called Vigilant where he cannot be surprised. So my Gadget would work during any surprise rounds that might happen in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda neat.
So we're heading up then to go say hi?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. As you all approach, the figures on the ramparts become much more clear. You end up seeing what look like 6 squat-looking gnomes, each of them sporting a red cap at the top of their head. They are looking about lazily, one's picking their nose, another's asleep. But as you approach this gatehouse, one of them looks over the side and says, "Halt! Who goes there? Speak the password, dummy."
Is it dummy?
And,
I had the same idea.
he kind of looks over and he's like, "What's the password? What's the password, dummy?" And then another one goes, "There wasn't a password, you idiot." And then you hear a couple other ones chuck, and they're like, "Good job, knucklehead. There was no password. And now you just told them there's no password. Boy, we should have made the password dummy. You're such an idiot." and like there's some stuff gets thrown at the one who asked for a password, and he turns and he looks and he says, "Ha! Joke's on you. Dummy's not the password, dummy. You can try again though, if we had a password."
Since you have no
It's
password,
swordfish.
can we
It's
come
always
inside?
swordfish.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you over the lizard.
Sorry.
If there's no password, then can we come inside?
Huddle! You see all of them huddle up.
Huddle.
And they look like they're talking for a moment. You notice one of them like peek over in like the classic cartoon huddle fashion. They look at you and then they get back down and they're whispering. And they pop up. We decided of our own volition that you're allowed to enter. But don't cause any trouble, dummy.
Don't intend to.
Good. Because if you did, I'd have to squish your head.
Is that some kind of obscure euphemism?
No, it's not. He walks over to like the edge. And he sticks one of his feet out, and you see that the little gnome creature has these big iron boots. He says, "You see these? I squish so many heads with these.
Do I
Hundreds."
Selta and Oberyn told me that stomping on heads wasn't allowed.
Yeah,
I'd say
well,
that's
I don't know who the fuck that is, but he sounds like a nerd.
Do I know what these creatures are?
You could make a nature check.
There it is. Nope.
They look like a gnome, all wearing the same fashion sense of a red cap and metal shoes.
Yeah, I know.
Would I be familiar?
You can also make a check.
Can I make a check?
Everybody can make a check.
Oh, nope.
They look like weird gnomes with odd fashion senses. Tink, you know that these are red caps. A red cap is a homicidal fey creature born of bloodlust. Red caps, although small, have formidable strength, which they use to hunt and kill without hesitation or regret.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
No, they're right.
Sounds familiar.
Don't piss them off.
Don't intend to.
He says, "Good. I hadn't stomped a good head in a while. Come on inside, stupid." And he moves over and he starts pulling on a chain link that starts opening the gate. "And welcome to Fort Knucklebone. If you ask me, I would have called it Iron Boot. Sounds much cooler." And like the other ones nod and they're like, "Yeah, it's much cooler."
I agree.
"Yeah, good. I see you're a woman of culture then."
I don't suppose you know any Chukka and Clonk.
Huh. He like starts digging into his nose once the doors open. "I don't know any chunks or cluckas. No, that sounds like dumb bird names."
Do you know any birds in this area?
He pulls out a big booger and he looks at it. He goes, "I might. What's it to you, Goldie?"
Do you like gold?
He kind of looks up and he brushes his long whiskers and he's like, "I like your gold. If you catch my meaning." And one of them's like, "Sex!"
I
Karen made that noise too.
Lily, I think we just have better luck inside. I think we should hurry.
I think you
Okay.
should show him your boobs.
Another one's like, "Show us your tits."
I do not understand the appeal.
Hang
The
on.
poor kobold's like, "What
Hang
are
on.
boobs?"
Yeah, okay. I flash them.
All six of them lift their arms up. They're like, "Yeah!" What are we answering for you again?
Have you seen any birds? Do you know any birds? Where would they be?
Oh, yeah, totally. No, I got that answer for you. So Mad Maggie has 2 birds that she keeps around. They're called pins and needles. They're ravens. Real fucking annoying ravens, too. They like to talk back and scheme against people. If you ask me, they should get the boot. A couple more of them nod and they're like, yeah, the boot.
Do you know any bird people?
See, you asked for birds. So if you use bird people, it's gonna cost you something else.
Is that all my boobs are worth to you?
I answered your question, so yes. The others nod, like, yeah, doesn't that make sense, stupid? Come on. You answer the question.
These are very irritable creatures. We might just want to see what we can find ourselves.
Okay.
Well, look. You are allowed to enter. Just don't touch anything.
Okay.
Good. Stop standing around like a bunch of idiots and get inside before the demons or the devils or Zariel herself descends to shove a flaming spear up your ass.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Doesn't it, though? It's actually
often.
Zariel coming down to shove a spear up your ass? No, you really gotta piss her off to get her to get down from one of her flying fortresses. I don't recommend it. Yeah, you haven't seen those things? They're fucking terrifying. That's how she keeps control of Avernus. You do know she's the undisputed ruler of this place, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't be like Belle. Don't be dumb. Now get inside.
Yeah, we enter.
And so...
Gwen.
Yeah, and so slowly you all filter in, and you get a good look at the fort proper. As I said, this is a relatively large junkyard built around this hill that's fortified by a wall. The gates close in behind you, and the red caps continue like construction worker whistling at Lily as you all walk off. But when you enter, the area enclosed by the rampart is littered with trash and mechanical parts, some put together in a way that resemble a vehicle. Ramshackle structures built from the same junk as the outer wall provide shelter. A platoon of small fey creatures mill about, all looking like feral gnomes. Several of them sport tall red caps, some of which drip with vile ichor. You know these are the red caps. A pair of kenku are off a ways, one of which are examining a strange vehicle. They're chattering to each other in high-pitched squawks. These kenku carry an assortment of strange tools.
Sindarin just kind of gives Lily a bit of a poke. Lulu, sorry, a bit of a poke, and kind of nods over in the bird's direction.
And
Look familiar.
Lulu squints and she says, "That's them. That's Chukka and Clunk." And she flies over to them immediately. And
I am running.
Yeah,
after.
and
That was easy.
she's trumpeting happily as she makes their way. And when
I'm just sauntering behind, thinking about Zariel's sword up my butt.
Yeah.
Clomp, clomp,
And
clomp, clomp, clomp.
as you're all moving, the Kenku hear the trumpeting and they turn and they kind of like stare at you all in wonder and with like the open mouths that like turkeys do when they're looking up at the rain. But one of the Kenku waves in your direction as if trying to get you to remain where you are before it chimes in. "What a deal! Patience is a virtue. Can't keep the boss waiting." And he runs off towards one of the trash structures. Moments later, he'll return, leading a tall creature wearing a long, tattered tattered shift, covered in mud, blood, mold, and worse. You notice that it's a greasy-looking woman with scraggly hair and horns coming out of her head, and she looks more like an old biker woman than like the stereotypical image of a hag. But her eyes seem to move independently of each other as she approaches, and her resting on one of each shoulder are red-eyed ravens that immediately lock on Valkarin. And behind her, a hulking creature built of disparate, fiendish parts trudges, moaning and hopping as it walks. Both of the hag's eyes suddenly focus on you, and then on Lulu, and she says, "My goodness." Spittle dribbles from her mouth. "Where did you find such a treasure?"
Lulu has friends here, and she is our friend. We came to try and learn a little bit more on how to resolve our predicament. You are the leader of this place? I'm guessing Mad Maggie. I saw your name on the big sign.
And she kind of smirks and does one of those and spits, and you see like black spittle land near Gadget, and she goes, "That's right, I'm Mad Maggie." And her right eye kind of trails off and goes in a little circle before locking back into place. "Huh, quite a story. Didn't expect to see that one again. Isn't that right, Chucka and Clonk?" And one of the birds goes, "Wow, I'm just as surprised as you are." And Maggie nods and says, "Mm-hmm. That one there came to us a long time ago. Chucka and Clonk found him." "Oh, well, that's quite a story. It's quite a story. But time here in Avernus is quite precious, and I'm a busy woman. I ain't just got time to sit around and chit-chat with y'all."
Do you have use for like gold or anything?
Ha! Oh, child. You haven't been in Avernus long, have you?
Nope.
Gold ain't a currency we use around here. And before you ask, don't try and peddle any of that blue blood. What's it called? Elementium. Electrum. Electrum. Don't you try peddling that high blood electrum on me neither.
We wouldn't dare. We would not be seen with such a currency.
Well, to each their own. I hear it's quite the trade and commerce in Sigil. Down here, we don't use any of that.
Good wiring.
What kind of currency do you use down here?
Oh, I'm very glad you asked, darling. You seem like a woman of culture and taste. Down here in Avernus, we trade in the soul coins. And,
the what?
Just lovely.
Soul coins, and she reaches into her pocket, and she pulls out an iron disc that's about 5 inches across and 1 inch thick, minted from infernal iron. The coin looks relatively heavy as far as coins go, and is inscribed with infernal writing. But when she runs one of her like claw-like fingers against the outside of it, you hear like a small wail. And she goes, "Soul coins."
Oh, that's horrifying.
Ain't the worst thing you're gonna see around here.
We haven't come across any of those yet.
No, y'all look real green, and green ain't a color that suits this hellscape.
Think looks down at his yellow scales. I might
What
change
other
your color.
currency are you using? Are you willing to use?
Well, you can get your hands on some of them soul coins. I could trade you some information. Turns out that my boys around here, and she gestures around the junkyard, all got all sorts of work need to be done. You make yourself useful here in Knucklebones. I might be willing to talk to you again. Time is money, after all.
I'd be very interested in learning about the contraptions around here.
You want to learn about my war machines? And she grins, and you see that there's like several teeth missing. I could talk to you all day about that. You looking to purchase?
I mean,
I'd also be willing to swap notes, and he leans down and pats Gadget. I'm something of an inventor myself.
it's true. He did design us some wings to get down from the floating city.
She kind of looks up and she says, "Huh, so y'all came from up there, huh? Well, I don't know whether that's a blessing or a curse for you then. Those folks ain't gonna last much longer."
Why not?
Oh, word is Zariel's gearing up to do something big to bring that down. It's only chained up right now because she hadn't decided what to do with it.
And I
Word.
don't suppose it would involve the companion up there as well.
Well, you're just lucky that thing didn't blast you out of the sky.
I had not considered that, and I am now very thankful.
Oh, if you had actually tried to fly, it would have happened.
So then, do you have any work or tasks that need to be done?
Oh, well,
Souls. Blood and souls.
yes, Stefan, blood and souls. Thank you for subscribing.
Oh, no.
She says, well, me personally, no, but, well, no, I ain't got nothing for you right now. Ask around, see what these boys want done. If they come back and tell me y'all did a good job, I might be willing to hear you out some more.
Okay. I'm good at smiting.
Oh, well, didn't really need you to kill anybody, but I mean, if you're offering, can you come deal with my ex-husband? Ha! She's knee slaps real
He's an
quick.
ex for a reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could kill my current husbands too.
I'm
So
good at
what
killing.
kind of coinage are you offering for each of these?
Oh, well, they ain't really gonna be. I ain't offering you anything, but they might be willing to give you something for helping them. I'm more looking to make sure that they get their work done, and if there ain't nothing that's gonna be holding us up from having a little chit chat, then that'll be beneficial for y'all.
So you need like taskmasters then.
Well, I need folks that can help my folks. You should probably just talk to them and see what they might need you to do.
I think we could work that out.
Or
What's your
I
favorite
tell you what, if you happen to have 5 soul coins, we can just bypass all this and I can talk to you right now.
We would probably have to go see about collecting some of those.
Yeah, it's probably just easier if you went and got those soul coins. I mean, it's not easier on your moralities or nothing, but
Well, we'll
You,
look
you
around
talk
and
about
see if
morals
there's.
and not carrying knickers.
yeah.
On that note,
I was laughing earlier because the lawful good redemption paladin immediately went to smiting.
Mm-hmm. So I just started
Yeah,
smiting.
I was
Just
thinking
started
more.
smiting.
I was thinking more like fiends.
Well,
like fiends have problems with other fiends.
they might. Yeah, you can go murder somebody. It's fine. But she's basically said, hey, if you want my attention, there's some tasks around the yard that need to be done. If you do those, I might be willing to listen.
All right.
Did she point to anyone in particular or a general direction?
She just said ask around, see what people needed doing. So you guys could pick any direction. If you want to actually look around, I can point out some things for you as well. But we're at 1 hour and 30. Let's take our break, and then we can decide if we want to run a little bit longer today as well, because I don't have to work tomorrow. So, I imagine a whole lot of people don't have to work, right?
Nope, I'm working from home.
Yeah, I was like, you're probably in the same boat I am. All right, well, let's be back in
the bedroom.
Back in 5-ish.
Okay.
Too easy.
So does Valkyrin just have this never mind. Probably not the same mental image as I got.
So the mental image I have of this hag is Mad-Eye Moody, but a female version of him from Harry Potter.
That's fair.
That's what I was thinking, especially when he started talking about the eye going in circles.
The really lazy eye, yeah. All right. Oops.
Way too warm in here.
What mental image did you have of the hag? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, started talking when I didn't realize. Kind of similar, except I tend to imagine hags as being very lanky with just exaggerated arms.
I still haven't decided if Valkyrin will hit on her or not.
I mean, she's already picturing Zariel's spear, as
Yeah.
it were. Now this can go either way. Does Valkyrin picture an actual spear or a metaphorical spear?
I don't think it's the actual like sword itself. I think it's just the power and that comes from like, you know, a flaming sword. But I mean, who knows? Maybe she likes that.
The answer is yes.
The
The answer is yes to both of those things.
Metaphorical and literal spears up the ass. I mean, I don't think she would prefer it to be on fire, but you know.
It's just burning hot passion.
Yeah. So my brother got me this mug for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. It's probably going to be backwards. Yeah, it's going to be backwards. And it's too small for coffee, so I put my cereal in it. But it says
like a big fucking mug, and that's too small.
It's like a normal coffee mug size, and it's too small.
It's not backwards.
No?
No.
It is on my screen.
What is?
The writing on my mug.
Oh.
It's mirrored for her, but I could read it.
What did it say?
I smile because you're my sister. I laugh because there's nothing you can do about it.
Ha.
And it was funny because, like, the day after he got here to visit, he was here for a week, and I get an Amazon package. I was like, I didn't order anything. I don't know why I'm getting a package. And he's like, oh, yeah, that must have been what I got you. When I was younger, I was really bad about separating my food. So he bought me these food separators. I love my brother, but he's an asshole.
What exactly is a food separator? Is it like a serving dish with different sections?
No, here, I'll show you.
I'm imagining like a bento.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Want to see some gay Australian currency?
Hell yeah.
The tenner.
So you have your plate of food, and you've got these little silicone like areas. So like if you have your meat, you can put it, and then you can separate it from whatever. And it even has little suctions on the back, so it actually sticks to the plate.
That's
very fancy.
Yeah.
Not at all what I was picturing, but oh my god, I could have used those. I hate when my food touches.
I do too. I'm not as bad about it now.
I won't criticize you. I won't criticize you for having it, but it doesn't register in my brain because it's all going in the same place.
Like, I think it's reasonable if you want, say, a steak and a sauce with,
yeah,
you know, a salad and a separate dressing.
You know,
Separate those two to, like, stop the mixing of sauces. But
yeah.
So when I would eat, we would have like a protein, like a vegetable, and then like a starch. So let's just say like chicken, corn, and potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
None of them could be touching. My brother would constantly like push my corn into my potatoes, and then I just wouldn't eat anything on my plate.
I was gonna say you would
right
you would hate the KFC Famous Bowl, which is one of the most delicious inventions they've ever made, because it is literally mashed potatoes, corn, chicken, and then their gravy and cheese, and they're all touching because it's in a bowl, and it's the best.
Just mashed up into one goop.
Well, it's not mashed up into a goop. It's layered, but it, like, as soon as she said like potatoes and corn touching, I was like, oh, she would hate that.
Well, since I've been with my husband, I'm not as bad because he's Cuban, and like all of their food just goes together anyway.
Oh yeah.
So it's not as bad as it used to be, but it was still funny when I got it.
It all goes together in
They
one
just
delicious
started
goop.
becoming. They're like all over Facebook. He's like, yeah, I saw it on Facebook one day, and I had to order them for you. It was just hilarious.
There's a good brother right there.
I love my brother, but I hate him.
My siblings don't get me shit.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'm gonna go put these separators away.
Okay. Once you're back, we'll get rolling again.
Fucking classic Christmas this time around. I got my brother something stupid expensive like the Nintendo Switch or some shit. He got me nothing.
Oh.
I know, the Nintendo Switch was for his birthday, but then I got him a few games for Christmas. Got
Yeah,
nothing
but
for the other
just
one.
still get nothing. It's like,
The only sibling I don't get anything from is my middle sister.
like even when I didn't have any money, like the year before I started my new job where I was struggling and I couldn't afford anything, for the most part, I still made sure that I got folks something. It was like, I don't have any money, so it's not going to be good stuff, but I got you something because I wanted to get you a present.
Here is a beer.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted.
But see,
to make things.
and that's a good alternative too. And it's like, I don't have any artistic skills, so I try to find things that may not necessarily have been on the list, but something that I think is nice that you'll like and appreciate. And most of my gifts have been a hit that people are still using or have with them. So, it's like, yeah, you said you wanted, this record or something, and it's like, Mom and Dad can get that for you. Let me find you something cool that you'll appreciate. That's outside of the box.
Yeah, some of the boys in the family that I don't see that often or really care about, which are my brother-in-laws. I just got them gator jerky, and they were over the moon.
Nice. That sounds delicious.
It is. It is actually really good.
Have we leveled at all? It's been a couple of weeks, so.
You
Leveled
are
halfway through our last session.
I don't think it was. Well, that was the level that we
We're supposed to have earlier.
Yeah.
leveling in this is kind of janky because it's milestone, and the milestones don't quite match getting anything done.
Uh-huh.
So it's a little weird. Like, you're supposed to be at 7, but you just leveled up. And yeah, it was a catch up, but
We just leveled up last session.
yeah. And really,
catch up.
well, really, it's just kind of you haven't been fighting anything that's been beyond a mild challenge. Like, nothing that's like, oh shit, I'm really worried about you guys being underpowered. Because let's face it, some of you have really good magic items or are an artificer. So I think you guys are okay. And when we get into the next part, it stops being milestone and actually gets into experience.
Now, what about that one time I fought a god and got punched in the face?
Yeah, exactly. You have to.
What
you
about
have to.
that one time I looked at a cube and it knocked me the fuck out?
Yeah, you have to actually overcome challenges to get experience, not just get your ass handed to you. Anyways,
It
so
was a learning experience.
it was a learning experience. You learned not to do that again. So, anyways, you all have
bad mouth Baphomet.
Yep. You all have had a brief introduction to Mad Maggie in all of her weird biker granny glory. She told you all that you could either pay her soul coins for her attention or just help around the junkyard. And if you do good enough, she'll start paying attention to you and actually paying attention to you and tell you what you want to know, because nothing is free, especially in hell.
Yep.
So she sent you on your way.
After she leaves, I immediately look to Chuck and Clonk, since they're right there and seem to be friends with Lulu. So do either of you need any work or help or anything? Or know who we could ask?
So when you approach them, they've gone back to working on one of these giant hell machines. But one of them looks up and says, interesting proposal. Do we need anything? And the last one comes out in your voice. And then the other one looks up and says, don't look now, but there might be something we can do. And they both like lean into the machine and kind of like rub their chins with their bird hands. And they both let out at the same time,
Tink is just clacking his claws together looking at these things.
I don't suppose you need volunteers to play with that little device.
Or extra hands and an extra set of tools.
I'm just trying to think how to communicate as a Kenku with appropriate phrases. And you say, one of them goes, some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice we're willing to make. And they gesture over to the machine again. And this is probably the first time you get a look at the device, or that we have a chance to show you what the device looks like. One of these infernal hell engines looks like a cart, but it's encased entirely in iron metal. There is, on the rear of it, there's a long construction arm complete with a wrecking ball. And on the front, there is large bear trap-like spikes that looks like it makes a mouth that would have a chomping motion. And the cart's wheels are large saw blades.
I like it.
That looks cool.
Yeah,
It looks almost like a scorpion.
I remember telling y'all to do some homework, and I hope everyone did. But the two of them look at it, and the other one says, for God's sakes, man, I'm a doctor, not a mechanic. And they tap on the machine.
Oh. I think they need help working on the machine. Tink, this
I'm a
is your
mechanic.
area. Tink's already in it.
And they both look at you and say, friend of the lizards, help us.
Tink will scramble down from Gadget, pull out his Tinker's tools, and get to work wherever he's pointed.
I'll start trying to look it over too and see if I notice it. I'm definitely not an expert on this, but
He'd also
maybe.
like to study and commit to memory how any of this stuff would work.
If Tink asks me to do something, I will.
All right. So, how do you go about examining this device, Tink? Because they're looking under the hood at what would be the engine.
Right. I suppose if they're going to allow me a close look at this and they're pointing to exactly what they need, I would lead with an investigation.
All right. Go ahead and make me an investigation roll, please.
Yep. Damn it.
You spend 10 minutes with them looking it over, and
I'm too excited.
Yeah,
My tail is getting in the way.
the infernal construction doesn't seem to make any sense, and one of them kind of leans back, shrugs, and goes, "It just doesn't make any sense."
Should I make my own?
Yes, but you'll have disadvantage having no technical knowledge for this.
Yep.
Can I also jump on that and say, can I try and identify anywhere where a nice protective sheet of glass like a windshield might go?
Sure.
Namely, because that's the only thing I can actually commit to construction projects.
No, they're not really constructing. They're trying to repair the engine.
Oh, they're trying to repair.
This is just,
Yes, but they're
line, I suppose.
it's the sort of thing where they're looking at it and they're not sure what's wrong with it, and so they're like looking down into the hood, going, "It doesn't make any sense. Why isn't this working?"
Okay, rather than the investigation, then can I actually get in there with the tinker's tools and get right into its guts?
No,
No.
because investigation was the right call. You just didn't roll what you needed.
That's true.
Because you have to identify the source of the problem before you start taking it apart and trying to fix it.
Right.
So with an 8, like the 3 of you huddle around and you're all looking at it and they're like, it just doesn't make any sense. And the 3 of you have never seen this kind of construction before. Tink probably had the closest chance of figuring out what it would have been, but for some reason it just escapes them and they just shrug and they're like, nope, ain't gonna do it.
I have a terrible idea.
Okay.
Tink,
Yes.
feel free to say no on this, but would you like to touch the shield?
What shield?
The shield I have?
I don't think Tink's aware of the shield.
I'm
You
pretty
finally
sure I told you about
finally
it.
notice the giant demonic visaged shield at her back.
I'm
I mean, I don't think
certain I
anyone's
told
ever.
you about this.
I don't remember if Tink would have known about
No,
it.
I don't think Tink knows.
I think
that
you've
it
talked
is
about it
sensitive.
out of character, but it's never been brought up to him in character.
Solus knew about it, but then
I thought I had. Okay.
We don't talk about him anymore.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
The
not
only
since
one I
a
think who
certain
thinks
someone
about
made
it are
him
Lily
wyvern
and
food.
Okay, so I'll just lean over and I'll whisper to Tink. There's apparently a pit fiend in my shield. Maybe they might have some idea on this. No, we did talk about this because we were discussing it when we first got to Avernus and took our first short rest.
Then maybe.
If we did, the Tink doesn't remember, but I could give it a shot, but I don't know what a pit fiend would. I guess maybe it might know more about infernal constructions like this.
No, I probably wouldn't know. Never mind.
And then I just whisper, "Are you all right with this, Hidden Lord?"
Oh, so now you want my opinion.
You don't have to give it.
Fat lot of good it does asking me now. You've been down here this whole time. You haven't bothered to talk or ask me anything. Not even how my day's going.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I saw
How's
what
your
you did
day?
last night.
Did you have to peek?
What else was I going to do?
Wait, did the shield see me drop all of my stuff off with Lily?
I saw what Valkarin did too.
Well, all right. You're right. I should have asked how your day was.
It's fine, thank you.
Are you being guilt-tripped by a pit fiend? Are you
Kinda.
seriously being guilt-tripped by a pit fiend?
Kinda. But to be fair, it has been several sessions since she talked to the shield.
Can
I haven't
Look,
had
this
it need to
communication
talk
thing is a
before.
Exactly.
This
And that hurts
communication
its
thing
feelings.
is a two-way street. He can initiate anytime he wants.
Don't speak for the pit fiend.
Since I have no idea about engines, can I take a look around and see if there's any like thieves' cant written anywhere?
Absolutely.
And before messing around with the shield, because again, I don't know what kind of insight it might have, but would an identify help on this?
I'll allow it.
Okay, then I will ritual cast identify. It's like being stumped. Tink will pull out his little monocle, focus in real close, and just spend a good 11 minutes just scouring over the thing.
Okay, so you ritually cast, your eyes flash over an arcane blue as you're looking it over, and you see that one of the parts in the infernal machine, a spiky gear, is disrupting a flow of infernal energy that courses through the device. It looks like there's a spike that's giving off a different source of energy that is causing a malfunction within the device.
Would it be safe to think that removing it would fix the problem?
Give me an Arcana check. Because then I can give you a deduction answer. Okay. No. I'll give it an advantage. Because you're asking the right questions. So I'm willing to give this to you with a roll too. So you're more inclined to think that removing the piece isn't necessarily what needs to be done, but removing the disrupting energy, because it's like there's something that's blocking the flow of the infernal energy that is meant to power this device. And so if you have a way to remove that energy, then it would be able to work again.
If I have a way to remove that energy.
As he's figuring that out, I'm just like, so you ever think that, being a devil just isn't working out for you? You ever think about, try being something else?
What else could I be?
I don't know, something not evil. What do devils become if they're not evil?
Well, once upon a time, if you believe those lies, we were celestials. And there's like a spitting sound, but no spit appears because it's trapped in a shield.
There is a spitting sound, it's just into a spittoon.
Yeah, it makes a spittoon sound because it's up against the shield. Exactly.
I had to decorate my room.
I should have done that. There's no arm room in here. It's in my face.
Well, what's wrong with being a celestial? Personally, I think that's favorable.
Everything.
Such as?
The cowards. They don't know how to deal with this abyssal incursion at all. Why do you think we were left to hold the line?
I mean, the abyss is a problem for everyone, isn't it?
Yes, and they have to get through us to reach anyone else. You're welcome.
So then why don't you... I don't know. If you were to become a celestial, so to speak, wouldn't you be helping set a precedent for, trying to garner the attention of other celestials? So they
Who else tried to do that once upon a time? Zariel. How'd that work out for her?
We have yet to see.
No, actually, she's in charge of Avernus.
I'm aware of that.
Okay. I wanted to make sure you understood that she got corrupted and became a devil, and that's why we're here.
What's your favorite color?
Blood red. If we're getting specific, virgin blood red.
That is a good color.
I didn't realize there was a specific coloring.
Oh, there's a difference. Have you seen virgin red yet?
No?
No.
Well, Karen is nodding her head.
Like, I can't even hear this, but for some reason I feel the need to nod. Don't worry.
I've just been touching the shield this whole time. Nobody noticed.
Don't worry. I
Hey, you
imagine...
talk to me without me touching it.
It's true, it's telepathic. I imagine in time, you will be down here long enough.
That is discomforting. Okay.
Only the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't you be helping those chickens get that demon grinder
Sure.
working?
That's what it's called? Demon grinder?
Creative name, isn't it? It grinds up demons.
So there's a blockage of energy here.
What kind of energy?
Well, I'm asking for a clarification again. There is a blockage.
There is a blockage of energy. Specifically, you notice that it is abyssal energy.
I'm having some ideas. I'm wondering if a surge of extra power might be able to kind of get the clog moving again.
What is the issue? Did you figure it out?
There's a blockage. There's supposed to be energy moving through these parts here. And this spiky bit is kind of jammed in there and causing blockage, but it's not the kind where I can just move the thing and fix it. I need to...
Does it need to be hit with some other type of magic?
That's what I'm wondering.
I'm gonna climb up and take a look. Do I need to pull it out?
No. I just said it doesn't look like it's something that can be solved by moving it. It's something that has to be energy related.
Do you want me to try and give it a jump start
You said...
with some necrotic energy?
Would necrotic be the same or similar type of energy?
Nope.
First, I can summon fire if
Would-
that'll substitute for the infernal power. Though I kind of doubt it.
You're more elemental in nature, I think.
I could do lightning, but I'm not certain what would get this blockage.
What's blocking
Flowing.
the energy?
Rain, do I know?
You know that it's abyssal energy that is blocking the infernal energy that needs to flow through.
So we need celestial energy.
So it needs the infernal energy to work. The abyssal energy is clogging up the joints. We need a way to get the abyssal out. Quick, abyssal picker upper. Sorry.
I don't think my magic is strong enough. I don't have the spell that I think I need, but I can try and I can try another spell.
Just real quickly, being vaguely familiar with engines, like, out of character, shit is usually labeled. Are there any, like, can I have a look over it and see if there's any infernal lettering that might suggest what any of these components are?
Is there a user's manual?
Yeah, go ahead and take a look.
Sorry, headset turned off. What did I miss?
Go ahead and take a look.
Perception or investigation?
Investigation. You are looking for a user manual.
Joke's on you. It's all written in Aran because you're Kenku.
I mean, it's a 9. So, you start digging through, and you actually you pull out a booklet, and you open it up, and everybody sees as you open it up. On the front of it, it says fresh plucked fowls, and one of the two Kenku goes, "Oh my, how embarrassing," and it snatches it out of your hand, and the other one says, "It's for reading material."
What did
Can
it
I
say?
snatch it from them?
Go ahead and sleight of hand. And it said fresh plucked fowls, Shay.
Oh.
3 articles.
Hold on. I should
Okarin's
actually
instantly like, I'm into this.
I should roll for them just to see if
I mean,
there's
it's
a
only a
chance.
10. I'm probably not gonna be able to get the book.
You never know. My dice rolls tend to be shit. I have to unhide the whispers because of course I do. So this would be just a dexterity, opposed dexterity. Yeah, see? But it would be set. They would be setting the DC for you to make, so it's make or break. So you roll a 10. So yeah, you snatched it out of their hands, and it is a publication of Kenku and Aarakocra.
Fan fiction?
No, it's pictures.
Nudie mag.
Nudie mag
Oh,
of
I'm gonna-
Nudie mag of Aarakocra and Kenku.
I'm looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
The main spread is gave her blue. Let me smash.
Oh, those are some pretty feathers.
Yeah. You see an assortment of tail feathers, and one of the articles is bringing new definition to spread eagle.
Besides that booklet, I've only found the 710 cap. Nothing else in here seems to be labeled.
So, I have an idea, and I don't think it's going to work because I don't have Dispel Evil yet.
What do you have?
I do have Protection from Evil and
Mhm.
Detect Evil. I don't think Detect's going to work.
You
I
you
don't
genuinely
know about
don't
that.
want to do detect evil in hell.
Because it's gonna be everywhere.
Yes.
So I've got a weird thought process based on my my spell list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it prepared, but having the knowledge to cast these things and like the the intricate knowledge I would have with my arcana to try and do these things, could I bend the knowledge of absorb elements to try and make something that could pull specifically the abyssal
No,
out?
no, because it's not an elemental energy. However, Lily is onto an idea.
Lily, I have a little bit of an idea.
Yes.
I've seen you touch people and heal them. What kind of energy does that use? Does it come from a celestial background?
Yeah.
We could start small, try that.
I have all my spell slots. I can try. Yeah, I can try that if this doesn't work. Yeah, that's the right. So I'll try that.
And tell me what you're trying specifically.
Protection from evil. I've never used it on a thing before.
But according to the spell, you're protecting against a certain type.
It would be...
I will let you be incredibly specific for the sake of this.
Okay, so I can't just say fiends.
I will let you be. I will let you be incredibly specific for the sake of this.
Then specifically, abyssal or demons. Demonic.
Okay, and so you all see that with Tink's suggestion of using magic to isolate it, Lily comes up with an idea of maybe she could do that with her magic, and quickly recites a spell and touches the afflicted area that has this abyssal blockage. And when the spell radiates around it, the the abyssal blockage is quite literally shunted out of the hell engine to splatter into a gross ichor on the ground before dissolving away. And then Tink, you're able to see that the energy flow starts to course its way back through more naturally, filling it. And the two Kenku look at each other, open their mouths wide, and they're like, dude! And then they run, and one of them goes to start the engine, and you hear a choir of screams as the engine roars to life, and a gout of black smoke shoots out the back, and they both hold up their hands and go, Excelsior!
Where did we hear that before?
That is fascinating and terrifying all at the same time.
Was it the Otter Wizard that said that?
Might have. Yeah, I think he did.
Did they meet Otter Wizard?
Or the soul of Stan Lee is in
I think
hell.
so.
Oh, I'm sad now.
So, Tink, you're the inventor. You fixed it. Does that mean you get to keep it?
No! Buyer beware.
That's not how that works. Although, with the identify performed, would I have a better understanding of how I might be able to recreate such a thing?
The abyssal taint? No.
No, I mean the infernal engine.
No, because it's not a magic item. Or a spell, for that matter.
Okay.
I'd probably have to spend a lot more time studying it in order to replicate anything like this.
The two Kenku hop down, and they're like clapping and whistling, and they walk over, and one of them says, "Friend, you're 1 in a million." And they like give you like a playful right in the chin, and the other pats Lily on the back and says, "A diamond in the rough."
Oh. I return pats.
And they both mimic purring sounds.
I thought I was going to need stronger magic. I'm glad that worked.
Yeah, glad we could help.
And they
Have a
nod.
few more ideas.
They nod, and then one of them says, "You have my thanks. When the world is mine, your death will be swift and painless."
Did
So
that
we
guy
can hope
survive? Right, so...
Do you have any way
yes.
of helping us? We helped you. Can you help us with Maggie?
They both look at each other, and then look back at you, and they nod. "You can count on us, friend."
You got a friend in me.
I guess we can start looking for more people who need help.
I'm gonna look around. Do I see anybody that might be particularly looking for help? Or just anybody?
Yeah, so give me a perception check, then.
Tink would be very actively involved in looking for any more engineering work he could be doing.
Excuse me, I am like incredibly burpy for some reason. That's rude. Sorry. As you, the three of you look around, Tink, you're really distracted by looking at all the piles of junk that you could turn into cool stuff. But both Lily and Valkarin, the first thing you narrow in on is there is the large flesh golem that was stalking close behind Mad Maggie. It seems to be busy dragging piles of junk slowly because it's hobbling, really favoring one leg over the other. But it's trying to drag a big piece of junk, and it's making frustrated sounds as it's trying to do so. And then Valkarin, more specifically, as you are looking around, you notice that two ravens are perched up on a nearby shack building, and they're watching you closely.
I'm gonna watch them back for a minute. Just stand there and have a staring contest with a couple of ravens.
And as you guys are looking around, and then Valkarin starts to have the staring contest, one of the ravens' mouth opens and it says, "Hey, come here."
With them being a raven, I would.
Don't like this.
Can I help
I
you?
also imagine I'm not involved.
She's not being sneaky.
Yeah, do you walk up alone, or do you gesture for the others to come with you?
I mean, I'm gonna walk alone. If they want to follow, that's up to them.
I was gonna go see what was up with the flesh golem.
Okay, so then we'll do Valkarin first. When you walk up and you ask them what they want, the two of them flutter down and they land on like a bit of trash, still slightly above you, but they kind of hop over and they say, "My sister and we couldn't help but notice how you helped the Kenku. We also need something done. You seem like the type that doesn't ask too many questions."
Depends on the job.
Well, it's a job that would get your hands dirty. You don't mind dirtying your hands, do you?
I mean, my hands are pretty clean. I wash them as regularly as I can.
That's good. You should always wash your hands.
It'll help prevent the spread of disease.
It will help prevent the spread of disease. Also, I can't stop looking at this map because over here in the top right, there's like a little cave entrance that looks way too suggestive for what it's supposed to be.
I'm sorry, what?
There's a little vagina cave right here in the corner.
What?
Right there.
Where is it? Hold on, I gotta zoom out.
Top right.
God, it's just a triangle, Rin.
It's not just a triangle, though.
Oh wait, let me switch to...
Oh my gosh, okay, now I see.
There it is. Yeah, it's like, you gotta be a little inventive, but it's there.
Oh yeah,
no,
okay.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, and I've had the map positioned on my screen where it's just kind of like the only thing that's visible over all of my notes. I keep looking at it, and it's like...
And then you've got the mad face right behind it. The mad face of caves right behind it.
Yeah, and just...
It just looks very disappointed in the cave vagina.
It's just so mad. It's crying. It's like, how could you do that? Anyways, now that distraction aside.
Now look like 1 inch above it. Look 1 inch above the vagina cave.
Yeah.
Am I using like real inches here?
Well, I guess there's no way to tell.
Is
Right
that
up in
what
the
we're looking
corner. No. That.
Yeah, there's that. Oh, I see it.
There you go.
I see it. Oh, very sneaky Wizards of the Coast. You'd think just because you can tuck it in, I'm not going to notice. Confirmed. Avernus is a tucker.
Look, I'm more concerned with mouth vagina over there.
All right.
This is just what we're looking for now.
Yeah. There's always fun things to find. Like, remember the Tomb of Annihilation map where we were pointing out happy faces?
All the little faces, yeah.
Yeah, just can't unsee it now. I mean, like, there's a Sarlacc pit as well, but we already knew that was there.
That's what I said. Mouth vagina.
I mean,
Yep.
Star Wars kind of ruined a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
Sexually suggestive.
Yeah, it's there. Anyways, let's focus. Now that I got that, I had to literally shift the map so I would stop zeroing in on it. And like, so yeah, we talked about getting hands dirty. You said your hands are clean. The two ravens kind of look at each other and make like that raven laughing sound, and they go, "Let's be real. Nobody in hell has clean hands. We don't even have hands, and ours aren't clean."
What did you have in mind?
Well, we happen to be Mad Maggie's favorites, but there are others who think that they have it in a little bit better. Those plying for her ear. We don't like that they're getting in the way.
Anybody specific?
As a matter of fact, we don't like the red caps. Specifically one named Wazik. Him and his friends are looking to get rid of us so that they can be Maggie's favorites. We can't have that. We like where we are. You understand what I mean?
Well, being able to rest on the shoulders comfortably is a nice place to be.
Yes.
Well, why would I want to kill people I don't even know if I've met?
Oh, you've had to meet the red caps. They're the ones who watch the doors.
That doesn't mean I know which one specifically it is.
Ah, you could kill all of them for all I care.
What reason would I have to kill this specific one?
Thank you.
So you can sit pretty?
Well,
That doesn't benefit me.
it's not just that. As I said, we're Maggie's favorites, so we have a lot of sway in what reaches her ear. And if you help us, we'll make sure that she knows you were helpful. You want to be helpful, don't you?
Moderately.
Well, think it over. Tell us if it comes of something of interest.
Well, why don't you give me specifics of when and where, and who? Because all of those little things looked the same to me.
Well, Wazik is probably the biggest one, at least by a couple inches. His hat'll be the most red. He likes soaking it in virgin blood.
It's a beautiful blood.
It's a beautiful
Yes,
color.
virgin blood red.
Yes, virgin blood red. Don't you know that's how red caps keep their caps red? Fresh blood, all the time. It's quite...
Did I know that?
No, but he's telling you. I think only Tink is the one who has some insight on red caps. So if he's there, he can be like, yeah, that's actually true. But they're just saying it like it's common knowledge.
And what did
He's-
Wasik do to you, specifically for him to be the one that you want killed?
He's their leader. If you get rid of the leader, the rest of them will get bored or go find something else to do or not try to interfere with our plans. We like to stay on top. You seem like the kind of woman who likes to stay on top as well.
The top is the easiest way to get away?
The two kind of look at each other, like, nod.
You gave me the who, you never gave me the when or the where.
Whenever's most convenient for you. They're not always on guard duty. But Maggie's not always around to keep an eye on things. She gets lost in her projects. You could probably deal with it this evening while they're relaxing.
Is he the one that picks his nose?
Ugh. Yes. Fingers are disgusting.
We'll keep it in mind. I'll turn around and walk away.
And during this conversation, Lily, you would have made your way over towards the flesh golem, and as we saw before, this delightful chap. Where's my Mad Maggie picture? He was the big monstrosity standing next to Mad Maggie. Where did you go? Where did
Giant
you...
ventilation duct in his chest.
Yeah, that guy. Where are you? Matt. Nope, that's Night Hag. Oh, there we go. Boop. Yeah, you see him. He's hobbling on these stitched together legs that don't quite match the rest of the body, but he looks like an amalgamation of fiendish creatures. But it's dragging along a piece of scrap metal, trying to move it towards a mound of debris. But it doesn't seem to notice you as you're approaching. It just seems really frustrated with trying to get what it needs to where it's going, and it's not having an easy time of it.
Is it big enough that I can help carry?
Do you approach and say anything?
Yeah, I'll approach him and be like, do you need any help with that?
And he just kind of looks down at the piece of trash with a frustrated noise.
I'll take that as a yes. I'll move to the other side and help lift it or pull it.
Sure. Give me strength athletics. It's not easy. And it's not easy because as you're going, you notice that Mickey's probably not using the most of its strength because it's favoring one leg over the other. And having to compensate for that is causing it a great deal of discomfort, and it's not able to lift as well as it could, making it harder for you to also pull this large chunk of slag metal. And it just kind of, after a while, lets go and gives another... and kind of, like, paces around frustrated.
Injured? Would you show me the injury? I might be able to heal it.
Make a medicine check.
Medicine.
Yeah, you are able to determine that the reason it is limping is because there is a long-standing injury, and giving it a close examination, it looks like there's a piece of it looks like there's like a bone fragment lodged into one of the joints of its legs, the segmented parts of its legs. It's causing it a great deal of discomfort.
Does it look like part of its bone?
No.
Okay, so it's not like sticking out.
It's embedded inside. You would have to do some digging.
It is a foreign object.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll try to extricate it and then give a little bit of healing.
Okay. Another medicine, please.
I hope I had advantage.
No. Even without advantage, it wouldn't have been, or even with advantage, it wouldn't have been enough. So as you you take out whatever implements you have to try and cut it loose.
I don't know if this help. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but this might help. I don't know if it changes anything, but I do have a medicine kit.
I don't know if they give you any bonuses anymore.
All they do is allow you to make an automatic, like, stabilization.
Oh, then no.
As per rules, as written.
Yeah, at the best, I would say you could have advantage, but even with advantage, it's not enough. But saying that you use your medicine kit, it means you have the tools available to you, and so you cut in, you try and like extract it with some tweezers or something, and it's not enough. It seems like there might need to be more to make sure that it works, because you can't quite get a hold of it and it's not pulling it free. You can attempt to try again, but if it looks like it might hurt him if it fails any more than that.
Okay. Hey, are any of you able to help me?
At best, I can try and restrain the beast.
Can you, like, hold his hand?
I can try and do that.
It reaches out a large hand that's as big as your face.
Sindarin kind of, like, grasps at it and...
It reaches over with the other hand and starts petting your head.
I haven't really learned anything about, like,
fine.
golems or homunculi. I could,
Do you happen
maybe
to,
my tinier hands could do something, but I don't.
Do you happen to have guidance?
No. I have mending.
Does it work on flesh golems?
Technically, if it works on homunculi, it would. Maybe. Or if they count as the same thing.
Does mending work on homunculi?
Mending an object.
Well,
You'd need to be
homunculi are one of the infusions homunculus servant are one of the things I can take. And
That doesn't tell me anything about mending.
I think
the
he's saying
homunculus regains 2d6 hit points if the mending spell is cast on it.
Okay.
So specifically, yes, those homunculus servants can be healed in such a way.
I don't see why not then. Because you can't heal a construct with the regular healing magic.
Then Tink will give it a shot. Tink will walk up.
Well, hang on. When you do that, try to focus behind this bone fragment so it helps to push it out.
Right, yeah, I think we can do that.
Build something strong behind it to force it out.
Tink will pull out a little tiny mechanical spider and set it against the wound and set it to work as it just creates this magical, like the magical webbing to just fill in the thing and slowly push the bone shard out if it can. As I cast mending.
Medicine with advantage.
Jesus.
Nope. It's lodged in there real. It's lodged in there real good, and as that's happening, it kind of makes one of those like sounds of like pain and discomfort, and then it's not long before you hear like heavy footfall stomps, and they're like, "Yeah, I came over this way. What's going on? Hey, what are you guys doing to Mickey?" And one of the red caps looks at you. "Why are you hurting the big lug? He doesn't do nothing to nobody."
We're trying to help him.
Doesn't look like you're trying to help him.
He's got a bone splinter stuck in his leg over here, and we're trying to get it out, but it's kind of wedged in there good.
You're not doing a good job of it, stupid.
I can assure you we're certainly trying, Sindarin says while being properly
how much
scraped
healing
at
it
by a
gets.
fucking goblin.
Yeah. So when you say "we assure you," the red caps look at each other and they go, "He just called me an ass." "Yeah, I think he did just assure you." "You don't assure me of anything, buddy." And like the red cap stomps over to you and he looks straight up at you. "Now call me an ass one more time."
Do you want to be called an ass?
I slam.
two more hoot and holler at the one who stomped up to Sindarin, and like
I slam
she's
my
saying,
fists together and summon both my astral arms and my astral mask. What do you want, you little ass?
Make an
I
intimidation
say-
check, please.
With advantage because I have my mask. Don't worry, Valkarin, we'll get your assassination job done real quick. Hey, 17, not bad.
Not bad.
And so Sindarin is saying this, standing over this guy with like a plain mask that's on fire and a coif that's also on fire.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now this is good. Hold on, let me pull up the red caps. Do I still have them open? I do still have them open. Amazing. Alright. Oh, this will be fantastic. I rolled a 15. So when you do that, he doesn't shrink, but you can see in his eyes he has a moment of rethinking what he was trying to say. He kind of looks, he kicks at the dirt at your feet, and he goes, "You're not worth it, Longshanks." But you know that he was intimidated.
Yes, walk away while we perform surgery.
You hurt Mickey. Maggie's not going to be happy about it.
They're pulling a splinter out of the column's leg.
This is-
Essentially, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and my rolls, God. Ugh.
I wasn't certain if Rin wanted me to do the medicine or you.
What's your medicine?
It's not great, but I was...
Is it better than +2?
No, it is also +2.
You can try. Your dice rolls tend to not be any better than mine.
Yeah, I do think he just pushes me out of the way and is like, bloop.
Yeah.
Just pulls out pliers. I got this.
Yeah. So your little hands get in there. You pluck it out. You do mending that heals it over, and then you even somehow manage to produce a lolly to give to it. And it kind of like frustratedly brings it up to its mouth where the tube is, and it's just like,
Do you want me to make a sign that says give me a mouth so I can taste things?
I have no mouth, but I must scream. And it just kind of looks and it's like, and it looks back down to the piece of metal, and then it goes back to what it was doing. It grabs up the slag and it starts dragging it again.
Glad we could be of help.
Now that I have 4 arms, can I try and get on the back end of this piece of slag and help him out as well?
Absolutely. Athletics with advantage.
Not bad.
So you and Mickey lift this slag up, and it looks over at you, and it makes like a grunting sound. And you guys carry it for quite a ways, leaving this main area going off to a back secluded section of the junkyard. And as you're getting around, you see that this back section also has like an oversized little shack that looks like more like a barn, and it's really run down. And it's got all of these like strange piles of junk and debris. But most importantly, one of them has like a vaguely humanoid shape, but it looks like trash artwork. And it has a vaguely female shape to it. There's like bent steering wheels that are up on the head to make like horn shapes, and bent bars to make hands and arms. And it drags over this piece of sheet metal. And you see Mickey lift it up and like bend it around to make like a skirt around this thing. And it's just like,
That's kind of adorable.
That is very lovely.
It looks...
With his extra 10-foot long arms, Sindarin kind of pats Mickey on the shoulder before they disappear. There you go, friend. Let us know if there's anything else we can assist with.
As you finish with that, it just kind of shuffles off and doesn't say anything because it can't speak. But it goes back to like working on this statue and leaves you all to it.
After I get done with the ravens, do I see the Mad Maggie around anywhere?
You can take a look.
Probably not. 11.
No. It's not hard to find a sign that says Maggie's Workshop, and you can hear noise coming from inside of it. So it's safe to assume that she's there, but you don't have a confirmation.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the group. Assuming they're done with the golem by this time.
Yeah, you guys would be... They'd be walking out as you're going towards them.
So I'm thinking the more people we can help, the more Mad Maggie's gonna want to help us.
Well, 2 down. 3 if you count the Kenku as individuals.
You hear, well, that's technically not how that works, my good man.
Looking around.
Turn around.
Must have said that.
Sindarin, when you turn around, you see there is a skull floating above you, surrounded by green flame.
Oh, and would you care to elaborate, my good sir?
A
Well,
leather jacket?
nope. The two of them come in a pair, and Maggie tends to count them as a group, so you're not getting an individual rate on each of them. And as the skull is talking, its jaw is moving, but you notice that like one of its teeth is missing, and it kind of seems to be leaning in a direction that favors not showing it, but because it's just a skull, there's not much that can be done about that. But if you were looking for people to help, well, I've kind of been watching the way that you've been handling things thus far. And where are my manners, I should introduce myself. When I was alive, I was called Barnabas.
Barnabas. Quite
Yes.
a magnificent name, if I do say so myself.
Magnificent name for a magnificent wizard. I used to be quite powerful.
Okay,
Well-
so not Barnabas Glassman.
Oh, no. Not
That guy died the last time I saw him?
Well, hold on, because he was also a wizard.
Was he? Oh, shit.
Barnabas was a wizard, yes. Yes, quite. He did talk like that, though.
Yeah.
The other guy talked with the softer voice. Yes, I used to be called Barnabas. Now it's canon. Good job.
Yes. I I'm known as Sindarn, and these are my acquaintances. Lily and Tink. And Valkarin, if she's around.
She would
Yeah,
be.
I would have
She's-
caught up by this part. By this thing.
Yes.
My deductive.
What do you need, dear friend?
Well, it's a bit of an embarrassing story, really. I've not really had a chance to tell Mad Maggie about my harassment, but I figured you might be able to help me with a little bit of a problem.
Is it the missing tooth?
It is, in fact, the missing tooth. The red caps, you see, they like to throw things at me, and I normally don't mind, because I can just float out of the way. But a loose gear the other day caught me right in the jaw. Now there's this whistling sound whenever I speak.
We might already have a solution for such an
You were not there for that
Such a
conversation.
predicament. I'm not there for that one, but think, my good friend, gold is often used as a dentistry tool, is it not? Do you think you couldn't fashion something out of all the excessive pile I gave you just the other day?
I was merely
Oh, mate.
going to suggest you get my tooth back, but
I could make you a dark iron grill.
Oh, now that would look fierce.
why would I need you to cook steaks for me?
No, like a row, just a teeth.
Well, we could just get his tooth back. Who has it?
One of the red caps. His name is Grubba. I couldn't tell you which one it is. All of those little fiends look alike.
Can I see the red caps from here?
Make a perception check.
Was that the same name as the guy we were supposed
No.
to
No.
get?
No. Is it the... Oh, there we go. When you look around to see if there are any red caps, you notice there's like a trash pile a ways away that have a couple of little red caps sticking out of it. It looks like they tried to duck down when you turned your head, but the tips of the pointed caps are sticking out.
I'm gonna watch him. See if I can.
They seem to cause a lot of problems around here.
They're quite troublesome. More trouble than they're worth, if you ask me, but Maggie is the boss and she keeps them around.
I could just go check their pockets. Do you want me to do all of them?
And there's quite a few. You might be rifling around in there for a while, and they tend to get handsy with pretty young things.
I'm gonna watch the red caps for a while, just seeing their movements, keeping an eye on the area that I saw and where the ravens pointed to where. What's his name again? Wyzak?
Wyzik.
Yeah. Just gonna watch their patterns.
Gosh, let me look over how this works.
What did you say the name of the person who actually dislodged the tooth was?
His name was Grubba.
Could you post those names?
Grubba. And I would post the other one, but you weren't privy to that conversation, so you don't need to write it down.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I might have a spell that works.
Oh? I'm curious. Quite curious.
It's I had unprepared fine steed because I couldn't really use it up in the stair with the stairs of the cathedral. But I have locate object. but it's an
Horses are
object that's
surprising.
familiar to me.
Well, I mean, you can
Does-
see his other teeth. Can't
Yeah,
you?
does his other teeth count?
I'll allow it. You know what
Okay.
you're looking for. It's a tooth. It's one of his missing teeth. You have an opposite side of his mouth to compare to.
I might be able to find out which one's carrying it.
Oh
If
well.
Karen, you think you can get it?
You should have. Well, that's a right kind thing for you to do if you're willing to do such a thing.
As long as you're willing to put in a good word with Mad Maggie for us.
Absolutely. My honor as a former member of the Order of Watchful Mages, I would do such a thing.
I could probably mend it back into place once we have it.
I would be most appreciative of that.
Okay, I will. I'll reach up and put a hand over my holy symbol and cast Locate Object, focusing on that missing tooth.
Okay. Sorry. So you cast Locate Object, and once the magic pings, you see that the 6 red caps have kind of circled back around together and seem to be playing like a game in the dirt. But it's pinging on one on the far side of the ring, opposite of the direction you're coming in.
Valkyrin, it's on the one on the far side of the ring, the opposite direction of us.
Do we
Do you
just see what I
think
can
we
do?
Hey,
Kill or don't kill?
we can. I mean, if they attack us, we can. But let's save that as like a last resort.
Okay, I'm gonna go off to a side. Well, my hood is already up, but I'm gonna stealth over to try and get the tooth off the person that.
And as soon as she starts to move, I lean over to Sindar and say, "Do you think we can make a distraction? Do you think they're interested in arm wrestling?"
We can certainly try.
Oh no.
It
You
might make
pulled-
a good display.
I was like, you pulled your hood up, right?
My hood is always up.
Okay, good.
All right. So,
You can no longer see my face.
Yeah. Sindarin and I will approach Sindarin. I guess Tink. Tink, you said they were really strong, right?
They're very brutal and yeah, strong for especially like gnomish type fae. They're real brawny.
Okay.
I mean, they wear heavy iron boots. I don't think you need much more
that's fair.
proof than that. They don't
so-
skip leg day.
They don't skip leg day.
So we'll approach and I'll say, you all are playing a game. Are you all interested in trying to match my friend's strength here? If you think you can.
Bear in mind, you picked the weakest person in the party.
You've got
It's
4
too late
arms.
now.
No, that disappeared by now.
Roll me a D100.
Also, to be fair, I don't think she picked the weakest person in the party.
By comparison of the two.
I've only got a 14 strength. Don't you hit pretty damn hard with that glaive?
Do you want me?
With the lance?
No, I
yes,
want-
because I swing with my intelligence. My strength is a 10.
I want a D100
Nice.
from Shay. Aim
Oh,
high.
me?
Yep. Aim high. Okay. So you offer up this challenge of doing a game, and all 6 of the heads turn to look at you, and they say, "What kind of game? There's a kind of game we'd enjoy playing with you, but you brought your boyfriend with you. He's not into like watching or anything, is he?"
Only
He's
when
gonna
we have
use all
things
4
on the street.
hands! And they all start laughing.
Arm wrestling.
Ah, is he
Let me
gonna
know when I
arm?
get up to the guy.
Is he gonna arm wrestle all 4 of us?
I
can
mean,
certainly try.
yeah. And if there's how many? You said there were
6.
4 or 6.
6.
I can arm wrestle 1 more.
I got an idea for what you can use your arm for.
Hubba hubba.
Hubba hubba.
I
That was
don't
another red
any
cap who said that.
differently Ever.
Are they all standing in a group?
They're in a circle. They were playing a game in the dirt. They're like dice or something.
Boy,
Okay.
it would be tempting to cast fucking Burning Hands right now, but
No, you know what they were doing? They were playing.
hacky sack.
No, they weren't even playing hacky sack. They were Rochambeauing. They were rolling dice and Rochambeauing each other. Because that's how just.
They're heavy iron boots.
That's just how fucking metal they are.
Cup check.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the team of Jackass got reincarnated as madcaps,
Oh
and
my
they were just
goodness.
doing continuous ball gags on each other. With...
But yeah, we can distract 5 of them.
Mm-hmm. Dino, or Valkarin, it's about this time that you reach the one behind, because they're all distracted and between heckling Sindarin and hooting at Lily.
You want me to slide a hand to try and steal the tooth?
Please. 16.
Not bad,
argue
not bad.
advantage because they're distracted.
They are distracted. Well, no, they'll have disadvantage because that's what they need to roll for this thing.
Fair enough.
I don't need the flame skull anymore.
I mean, they have disadvantage anyways because she's got the cloak.
That's what I mean. They got disadvantage. It doesn't really matter. So is there a difference between these 2 sets? There is. Is there? No. Why do I have 2 sets of...
It'd be Grubber and his group and Wezak and his group.
No, there's a variant to red caps called mad caps. And I'm trying to see what the difference in their stats is, and there isn't. So what... Oh. No. That doesn't do anything special for them either.
Maybe one's crazier than the other?
That's basically what it is. I was just seeing if there was any statistical difference between them, but they have the same stat block, which is odd. Literally, the madcaps soak their caps in demon ichor instead of regular blood, and it makes them even more crazy and irrational in their hatred of things.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. Cool. Good story, Volo. Why did you write this?
You guys want to see this though?
What's that?
Because this is. So you guys see what the normal red caps look like.
Oh,
This is what the mad caps look like.
Oh, the madcaps look delightful.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, no, they're...
Can you imagine?
That-
The first thing I think of is like high-pitched screeches from those things.
It
Yeah.
looks like fish.
Yeah, they're just fucking mutated.
Looks like a piranha.
Anyways, so
I
I rolled for the group. They got a 14, so they don't notice. You start rifling through this pocket, and sure enough, you find an assortment of weird things. But eventually, you do find 3 sets of teeth.
I will take all of the teeth, only because I don't know which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna back away a little bit.
Yep. And so they're like,
Pocket them.
all right, Longshanks, you get 1 try at this. Roll the dice. If you get higher than I do, you get to kick me in the balls. But if I roll higher than you do, I need to kick you in the balls.
I thought we were arm wrestling, but no matter.
I changed my mind. He kind of looks
Well,
at
go
you.
ahead.
He kind of
Roll
looks
the
at you
dice.
threateningly, but he doesn't seem to do anything with it. And he says, "Good. Pick up your dice. Just roll a d6."
D6.
Because
Here comes a 1.
of course I do.
Alright.
And he kind of looks slack-jawed at that, and he says, "Ugh, I gave you the
Can I
wrong
kick him in the
dice."
balls for you? This ominous voice that I don't know who can actually see.
Who's that?
Who said that? And they all look around.
While they're distracted, Sindarin's just gonna rail him into the nuts. Oh!
Yep.
Oh,
Perfect.
Fuck it, I'm spending a key to make it a stunning blow just for the laugh.
Fire!
All right.
this is the game.
So
we
you,
wanted to play.
yep. So you, everybody, they're like, "Who said that?" And then he turns his head, and that's when Sindarin just rears back his kick and just catches him, and he goes up into the air like a good foot or two before coming back down on the ground, clutching his groin, and he just topples over onto the side, stunned. And all the other red caps start laughing. And they're just like, "Ah, that's what you get, you dumb shit." And they're just heckling and cackling at the sight of this guy getting kicked square in the balls.
Does the one that I just stole from? Can he see me?
No.
Can I just, since he can't see me, can I just grab him in the balls really hard?
Sure.
What do I have to do for that?
You can just make a attack roll.
Okay, 'cause I don't have. Strength based or dex?
It would be strength because it would count as a, or yes, it would be strength based because it would just count as a grapple.
Okay, 15.
You reach down and you grab, and to your surprise, he's a small creature, but these are probably like billiard ball size. And then all of a sudden you hear like a whoop, and he jumps up a little bit, and he looks around. Roll another stealth for me. Yeah, Steven's still with that. Even still with that magic going on, he looks around and he's like, he looks over and he says, "Grabnar, you gross fuck," and he punches one of the other red caps.
I'm gonna
And
back up when it starts to break out.
yeah, and they immediately break into a brawl. All 6 of them start dogpiling and fighting each other.
I'm gonna sneak over to Lily and to whisper, "I got the tooth, and I started that fight."
That was awesome. Let's go.
Everybody just books it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we're at 3 hours, guys. Did you want to keep going?
I mean, I can.
I'm fine.
Morph?
I'm okay. I'm feeling a little lightheaded, but I can keep going.
Are you sure?
Was
Need
it
some
getting-
sugar?
Do you want to take another break since we would be at?
I got stuff. I'm good.
Okay. Max, are you good?
Usually
Yeah,
for
It's only 2:30
low
in the
blood pressure,
afternoon.
it should be like a candy, not a soda.
I got
Okay.
chocolate covered pretzels.
Okay. Well, everyone's good. Then
Eat a couple.
we can go for a
I
little
will
longer.
object to that little break. if
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
don't mind.
Do you want to take the break? Take the break. Let's take a break. We'll take another 5, and then we can go for a little longer, guys.
Cool, I'll be
Alrighty.
back in a jiffy.
That'll give me time to eat some brat first.
Dope scene, everyone.
Good seeing everyone.
Sure was.
Ooh.
Food times.
Ren,
Yes.
my camera is frozen, so I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect.
Oh, yeah, you are
have
froze
to-
up.
Yeah,
I'll
You
fix-
look evil. Like that's how I picture Valkaren to look.
That isn't
Just
evil.
all the time.
That is a delightfully
Yeah.
evil pose. Yeah, go ahead and reconnect. I'll fix it as needed.
All right.
And I'm gonna eat, so don't mind me being here but not here.
I'm just gonna fill up. I ran out of cereal, so I'm just gonna grab some.
Did that work?
Looks like I can see you again.
All right. Cool.
Ouch.
What did you just do?
Well, I'm short and I can't reach the ground when I sit on like chairs or couches or anything. So when I just tucked my knees, one of them popped.
Oof. How short are you?
I am 5'1", depending on what convenience store I walk into.
Oh, very small.
So you haven't actually measured yourself, you just happen to go off like
No, I mean,
convenience stores.
I'm about 5 feet, like even.
So small.
Yeah, I'm so small. Like the couch we had before, the one we just bought, I could actually sit all the way back and have my feet rest comfortably on the ground. But to be comfortably level with my desk right now, I can't really reach the ground unless I put my feet on the dog bed that's under my desk.
Awesome.
So I've gotten into the habit of just whenever I sit anywhere, I just tuck my legs.
I personally use a busted computer as a footrest.
My desk
Does the job.
My desk has a little elevated positioning to keep the monitor off the ground, and it goes across the whole way, so that counts as a little bit of a footrest for me. But I'm also a long boy, so I have to stretch my legs out.
Yeah, the computer is entirely pointless unless I'm back here and actually get to stretch my legs.
I also feel
Otherwise, it's in the way.
realizing
I made a half work once that is completely opposite of my height, like 7 foot tall.
Oh, that's imperfectly normal. Like, small people always play tall characters.
But the thing is that when I made my monk, she's shorter than I am.
Ooh.
And she has long hair, like Rapunzel hair.
Long hair.
Like braided, like almost down to her feet.
Yeah. Like, I like playing short characters because I'm tall.
So do I.
I
That's
don't
why
even know how
Maxon
tall-
is 5'2".
Yeah, Rindis
How tall is
used to be
that?
that tall.
Oh, yeah, that was about a foot taller than I am. She's about 6 feet.
Or rather, Shane, Rindis used to be 5 foot, and then I just made her taller recently, just because like art kind of implied that she was taller.
You kind of got a commission and just ran with it.
Yeah, like she used to also have more of a tan mocha-colored skin, and then an artist.
I saw some of those.
Yeah, and then an artist.
Some of the older ones.
Yeah, an artist drew her more pale, and I was like, I actually like this. And I was like, I'll stick with this now. This is new canon. Well, yeah, she used to be more of a darker complexion.
Let's see if I have. Do I have a picture of her on my computer right now? My barbarian.
Show us, show us.
Speaking of
Where would I have put it?
Oh,
You know what? I can just share it through my phone. Because I know for sure I have it on my phone. Because she's my background. So she better be on my phone. I loved that barbarian.
So I just found something on Imgur that basically sums up the opening scene for this episode. Where are we? We're in Descent. There you go. Yep, that's just mood.
Oh, that's not even all of her. Hold
Oh, you've had Kiva draw that for you.
on. Yeah, I did.
Oh, I have seen this fancy picture.
I love it.
Yeah, he
It's
does.
my background right now.
He does.
He has boots, but I gotta find. There we go. This is the one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Kiva's good friend here, and
Yeah.
I love all of their art. Did you find them through us, or?
I did.
Oh, okay, there we go. And I don't need to tell you anything. You already know how great they are. I just thought it was one of those coincidences where it was like, you also had art from them. Yeah, they've done tons of stuff for us, and they do good work.
That's just spoiled chestnut.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
Earliest dog was
Actually,
fucking
it was
taste.
it was
Oh, that was a
kind
good
of
dog.
it was kind of a toss up as to who I wanted to do my art,
Hmm.
but I kind of had to go with the cheaper kind of option at
Yeah.
that time.
I had to go hunting for water.
I'm always a fan of my barbarian whenever I get a chance to use her.
The strong bear girl.
Yeah, my strong bear girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that barbarian is a druid as well.
Nice.
Circle
A
ring.
natural combination.
Yep,
Yeah.
I still have the.
a raging bear, literally.
Yep.
So her story was her family, she grew up in a family of druids, but her father cursed her when she was a kid, so she wouldn't get her powers until she was 20.
It's an odd
So-
curse.
Yeah, well, he wasn't allowed to see her because she was in like a Xena type tribe where
Hmm.
it's just women.
Like the D&D version of a inheritance that kids can't access until they're
That's fair.
Yeah, because
of
usually they
age.
would get their druid powers at like 15. So yeah, she just
Fuck
developed.
you, wait
this-
5 years.
Yeah, so she went into a rage one day and just turned into a bear, and is like, "What just happened?"
Ah, yes, werebear.
Yeah. So she's raging in bear form, has no idea what just happened. That was a fun session. Everybody was freaking out because she already has an issue coming out of her rage. Because with the DM at that time, we set up a wisdom saving throw to see if she would attack her party or not.
Mhm.
She did
I
twice.
like it.
The first time she attacked her party, she rolled a critical hit and took the guy from full health to unconscious.
Nice.
Because, you know, half-orcs have that extra dice roll ability when they critical.
And it only gets more dangerous at, like, what, level 15 or something when they get
Well,
brutal.
she only took 6 levels of barbarian. The rest she was druid. So,
Okay. So no fun quadruple die roll crits.
no. Luckily. But lots of wild shape. She was tanky as fuck. Because she could use her spell slots to just keep adding health to her wild shape. Circle of the Moon, man.
Circle of the Moon is great. Roland was a
in
fun
some
pig.
circumstances, batshit insane.
Mm-hmm.
Roland was a fun pig.
I mean, granted, she really only wild shaped into like bear-esque forms. So the party would be like, "Oh, can you like transform into like a spider or a cat or like a raccoon or something so you can get into these small places?" And it's like, technically yes, but
Only
no.
big things.
Yeah.
You
Actually,
want a giant eagle? It's a giant eagle with a bear head.
I don't know how well you would see it, but
Owlbear.
the DM used,
Owlbear.
even though it's a monstrosity, the DM used to let me transform into an owl bear, and this is the wrong one.
See, I kind of
I
like.
would have to turn on. Yeah, hold on. I have to turn
I-
on the light.
I like that idea for some creatures, like the monstrosities that are very like
Bestial.
animal-esque.
I went with my brother when he was in town to a mini painting class, and they were doing owl bears.
That's right. I
And
think
Oh,
you
look
posted
at that.
something on it.
This is the owl bear she would turn into.
That's so cool
pretty
looking. Good job.
Nice.
It's yellow. It's yellow and purple. Yeah, and then my husband, which I put on, he did this one. He is good. He did this
Oh,
one.
that sounds cool too.
That
I like
is
that
really
silver.
nice too.
Yeah.
Is it
It's
silver?
not silver, it's white.
Is it just white?
Yeah, it's just a white dry brush.
Oh.
His is so much better than mine. I'm jealous.
I
I
like purple.
I put my painted figure away, but on my desk I used to keep one that I would use back in high school, and it was a really cool looking paladin one, and he had like big cool angelic shield and a flaming sword, and I was really proud of how well all the colors came out, and like even 10 years later they still held up really well.
Yeah, and this is just the bear that she usually turned into. Just a
Brr.
regular bear.
Just a bear.
Just a bear.
I wish I had some of my. I don't know where like any model figurine sort of painting I did was back when I was trying to get into Warhammer 40k and being lied to by a friend of mine just to because
Another one that I painted. I have to be careful because it's painted, but it's not glued together. The
Oh,
wings come off like that.
like that.
I got
Because when they're
no-
not displayed, they're just kind of packed away. So it's just kind of easier if you can condense them.
You were saying more.
I got no idea where any of my nids are, but I found some of my. I had like a small contingent of Space Marines I had been working on.
Hmm.
Nice.
So I've got a little apothecary here.
I
Those
have.
are actually easy to. Those are nice to like for beginners because the surface area are not. Ooh.
Hold on, I gotta wait for
It's
your.
really shitty.
I gotta wait for your camera to
You
zoom.
think... Come on, focus.
Focus. It
At least
really
Vince
wants
can
that
show
hand.
See if they do it this way.
It really doesn't want to focus in on it.
No.
It's like,
Alright,
it's like,
whatever.
but there's
It just
that beauty
wants
right
your
there.
face.
Yeah, it's like, but beautiful. Yeah,
It looked really nice from what we could see.
It did. Good color.
It looked really fuzzy.
If I could get some more model
But you
paint,
could
I might
definitely
be
see
able to.
distinct colors.
I got specs here that I've been meaning to.
Did you get that from Hero Forge?
Yeah,
Nice.
this was my original one a couple years back when we were first thinking about doing it.
Nice.
Yeah, when my brother
Before they
came to-
even had Kobold as an option on Hero Forge. Now I could probably make a much better one, but I still really enjoyed the specific design I did for this one.
when my brother was coming to visit, that was one of the things I was like, we can go to a mini painting class in the city. And he's like, yeah, that'd be fun. Ever since we went, he hates me. Because now he sends me pictures. Look what I've been doing with my day off. And he's painting these different minis.
Nice.
Look what you've gotten me into.
See what you've
On
done.
the contrary, you could also just, toss him a 50 or so. Yeah, go paint all these minis for me. I
Yep.
don't have the time.
Well, what he asked me to do for him, I asked him, what do you want for Christmas? And he's like, well, you could paint me a couple of minis. I was like, Christmas is in like a week.
Mm-hmm.
So what I ended up doing was sending him a painting kit that came with paints, brushes, and a mini. Here you go, do it yourself.
That'll teach him.
Yeah, he is actually really good at it, considering he's never done it. I'm gonna post a picture of one of what did he do? He did a Earth Elemental, I want to say. Alright, those are all the ones that we...
Its face is part of the body.
And see.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Despite having like 50 or so minis over there that need to be painted, and a paint set and brushes, I haven't painted shit for about 5 years. The only thing I've actually painted were Blood Bowl miniatures. My uncle let me paint his human team fucking way back when. They turned out well shit.
My folks always feel bad when they have to leave me out of going to like Disney on their vacations and stuff. So they're always like, what can we bring you back? Like, just to make it up to you. And it's like, and I just remember that anytime I would try and go there and we would go to Epcot, they would usually, be the only place where I could reliably find like little Gunpla models. So they went out and actually brought this one back the last time, and I had to. This was a little bugger to get together. Lots of tiny pieces.
Small, pointy pieces.
Small, pointy, see-through pieces.
Yeah.
All the red here is translucent.
Oh, wow.
So it was insane and pointy.
Well, I think it's about time we get back. Yes. So, we have successfully extricated several teeth from the pocket of Grubba, the red cap, before.
We have incited a riot.
Yeah, before Valkyrin caused the 6 red caps to rumble with each other over their game of Rochambeau. You all quickly dart away from the area before they can realize what had happened and turn their frustration out on you instead. But before long, you're back to where Barnabas is floating rather patiently, being undead. He has all the time in the world. he looks and he says, I saw what you did. Quite the show there.
Team effort, I think.
Yes, well, were you able to procure what I was looking for?
Yes.
Good. May I see it?
I'm gonna pull out all of the teeth that I found off of the person.
Yeah. And the, fiery red eyes kind of get a little bit bigger as he looks and he says, I only lost one. Who else is missing teeth?
That's not my problem. Which one of these teeth is yours?
Well, if I could pick them up for a closer examination, I would. Why don't you just slide them in and see which one fits?
I push. Alright. I'll pick up one.
No, I think that one belongs to one of the red caps.
So just give me D100, and we're gonna say aim high. Okay, it was a 1 in 3 chance that you got it right. So, yeah, you slot this this tooth into place, and he kind of wiggles his jawbone around. And he says, yes, that does seem to be quite the proper fit. Well, I am quite grateful.
Mending for good measure.
Yep, and you see, it does. The teeth get a little whiter. And he flicks his jawbone. And he says, the clicking is stopped. That's good. Well, a deal's a deal. You helped me, so I promise to put in a good word for you all.
Appreciate it.
Do you know who would have any soul coins?
Why? Maggie would, of course. She's the boss.
Other than Maggie?
Well, everybody has their own soul coins. It's a form of currency around here. If you ever want to procure things, you'll need to have one or several, depending. It's not something.
I don't suppose you've come to work out the rough exchange rate for a soul coin. What exactly can these things buy?
Everything, friend. That's the currency in hell. Souls.
Well, say if I wanted to buy that demon crusher back there, how many soul coins would it require?
Quite a few, my friend. They don't come cheap, but you might be able to talk Maggie into cutting you a deal.
If we help her enough, she might be able to offer us our own transportation.
It's very possible. She seems to be in a very generous mood since your little yellow friend arrived.
I have so many ideas I want to try out.
Yes, I do believe she favors tea.
And she gives a little toot as you squeeze her.
What's Lulu
that
doing
little
while
yellow
we're doing
friend.
all of this?
Lulu is now being protectively hugged by Lily, but she had been just flying and observing. Looking surprisingly quiet and thoughtful as she's trying to remember everything she's seen around here.
I got confused.
As did I.
When you said little yellow friend, because you have to remember, Tink is also yellow.
Littler yellow friend.
Anyhow,
Is
thank
Tink
you
is Tink bronze-ish?
I guess.
What would be his chromatic
for...
and or metallic scale representation?
I don't know if it would fit in because I don't think there are yellow dragons, but the way that Chris Zito would describe them would be tan scale.
So then
There
probably
are brown dragons and also steel dragons.
they're also brass and bronze, which are yellowish. So
I don't know if Tink would be particularly metallic in his sheen, but he would be very
Maybe a more
like
ruddy color.
brass is a very yellow color though. So but, you know, it's your choice. We're just trying to put a color to it.
I'm sure we can find a couple other people to help. I think the more we do, the better chances we have of working with Maggie.
I agree.
I kind of want to see if maybe I could help cut some corners by seeing if Maggie needs any sort of personal help.
I'd like to help her
You little
personally.
dog.
What?
I am not going to open that can of worms. I'm just going to let it happen.
It's like, which can? Mine or
Think-
Sindarin's?
Tink is blinking. Just doing the lizard one eye than the other.
Sindarin probably smiles at Valkarin and then just shrugs. Never mind that for now. I'm sure we can find someone who needs help.
Important question.
Hmm.
If it is really canon that that is Blast Wind, would I be recognized?
If what?
If that is really canon that is Blast Wind, would I be recognized?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, come now, friends. Let's have a gander around for anyone who is in the middle of construction projects or getting the shit kicked out of them. You never know who might accept help.
What does a goose have to do with it?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Honk.
Anyhow,
I'm gonna take a look around for anybody else that looks like maybe they need help or that we can approach.
Yep. Same.
Make perception checks for me.
Okay. It's okay. 15.
There we go.
21. You guys look around. You see that the Redcaps have kind of finished their brawl and they're back to just kind of laughing and shoving each other and doing more Rochambeau. But Lily, as you look around, you see that the workshop that's labeled for Maggie, the door is opened up and the hag is kind of moving down one of the side roads. Not quite in your guys' direction, but she seems to be looking around.
I will approach. Are you searching for someone?
Oh. Well, child, as a matter of fact, I was looking for y'all and your little friend. Word travels very quickly that you've been helping out over these last few hours. And yes, time has passed, even if we kind of speed ran through all of this. And he says, you all have been very helpful over this time. And, well, I am a woman of my word. I am willing to offer helping unlocking little Lulu's secrets.
That's not going to harm her, is it?
Oh, child. The truth is sometimes quite painful. I can't make you that promise, nor would I.
But
Know that you'll be there to protect her from anything that could be harmful, or there to comfort her should she come to harm.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes. I have a ritual that will be able to unlock her memories through dreams. That is what you require, is it not? To find out more about Zariel's sword.
That's right.
Well, I'll need some time to prepare. It's a complicated and dangerous ritual, but one that will be very fortuitous to you once the time is done. I don't know why she's developed like a thick southern acumen, but it's fine. She's supposed to be like a biker granny, but now she's a southern biker granny.
Which makes it even
She
better.
always had
Yeah.
that.
She's mad. Her accent might change.
That's true. It might sound like this now. No.
No, bad Hallister.
Oh no, Hallister sounded like this, Morph. Don't forget, he's the master magician. That is rough on my throat right now.
Did mention it was a popular show in the Hells.
Yep, all the planes. Anyways.
Do you need anything from us for this ritual?
Only your strength, child. Find a place to rest. I imagine that the sun not setting is a bit disorienting to y'all. You don't know exactly when it is time for sleep.
Naturally. We had the fortuitousness to find ourselves in a catacomb-like system, so we had darkness when need be.
Yes,
So
well,
that would be the first night under the hellscape, I suppose.
yes, most of us don't need rest, but I can find you a nice dark shack to hunker down on for the time being.
That would be awfully generous of you.
Well,
That'd be nice.
I'm only as generous as you are helpful, so consider it a perk of our arrangement.
Could there be other perks?
She looks over to Valkarin and says, "Well, aren't you just a ripe peach in the sunshine? There could be, if you're really feeling adventurous."
I like a nice adventure.
And she walks over to Valkarin and with surprising strength hoists the elf over her shoulder. "Y'all can go find your own place to hunker down. This one will be back to you in the morning."
It just lizard eye blinks again.
Just one eye than the other.
Yep.
I think she stole your. I think she was moving in on your property there, mate.
He's gonna go see if he could go.
I need a drink or several.
I like how nobody
he's
tries to stop it.
I'm just like, Valkarin, are you? What
Like,
are you?
Yeah, let's just sink in that Mad Maggie picture again.
But before finding a place to bed down for the night, Tink's probably going to see if he could talk shop with the Kenku some more about the machinery. I'm determined at some point Tink is going to turn Gadget into a demonic war trike.
Oh no.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Valkarin, are you okay?
She's getting carried off.
Valkarin's
I'm
into
like-
some
I
weird
kind of
shit.
like
I'm
turn,
like 5
like,
feet behind as
go
she's
around and kind of give like a thumbs up to Sindar.
Two thumbs up.
Oh. Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm gonna say to her, "Do you have room for a third?"
Oh, aren't you adventurous? Mickey ain't quite designed for that, but we can make do.
I actually had a suggestion for a third.
Oh. Well then, I'm all ears.
I have a friend with 4 arms.
Poor Sindarin getting roped into this. More arms all the better. How good's that fire resistance of yours? She calls out to Sindarin.
Sindarin, like, already on his way out, kind of looks up. Sorry. Were you referring to me? If so, quite well.
Well, strap in. Y'all tagging along, apparently.
Alrighty, he says as he kind of looks at Lily and Tink, then follows uneasily.
Yep, you just got roped into this.
This is how the corruption begins. Is that really what Lily's doing, standing there like...
I imagine she is just dumbfounded.
Kinda, yeah.
Alright, so Tink, you're gonna spend some time with Chukka and Tonk. I think that was... Yeah, and Lily's left with Lulu. And the night kind of settles in. So for the two of you, what I need is...
We're gonna die.
You will gain no benefit from the long rest. Your hit point maximum is going to be reduced by a d10. Okay, so Sindarin, Valkarin, oof.
Is that for this rest cycle or permanently?
Well,
Just wondering whether I should physically change it on my sheet.
it is permanent?
I know
No, hold on.
what you're talking about.
Lasts until... it is not permanent, but it does not go away immediately. You will need to find a means of reducing it. But the two of you wake up exhausted and haunted by unrestful sleep once you finally got sleep.
I don't sleep.
Yeah, your trancing was not restful either. But yeah, so for the sake of this, you didn't gain the benefits of a long rest, and your maximum hit points is reduced because it was not an easy night on either of you. But it is a...
You took the risk.
It is a dark.
Totally was
It is a dark and twisted night. Things were done to both of you that one of you probably didn't expect, and one of you was totally into, being from the Shadowfell. But it's a painful and exhausting and liberating and pleasureful experience. Cenobites would be proud. But at the end of it, you guys are turned over, and she says, "Well, I'm gonna have to sponge off after all that, but it's time for me to get this ritual underway. Y'all can go back to your friends, or just lay there looking delightful while I prepare."
Could I roll like an intelligence check to see if Tink managed to learn anything with his time with the Kenku?
Absolutely. With advantage, because you've been very astute in your... you don't need it.
Natural 20.
So you're looking over these engines, and what you're able to learn from them is that there are three different types of war engines that are here right now. Or sorry, 4. There is one that they refer to as Devil's Rides, and they are bipedal or resembling motorcycle type devices. Their wheels are bladed as well, and they look like motorcycles. They look like sweet motorcycles.
They're called what?
Devil's Ride. Linked above.
Devil-
I linked it. It should be shown.
Okay.
You
Just
learn,
taking notes.
yeah, you learn that there's another called the Tormentor, and this one looks more like a dune buggy, and it's got big saw blade wheels, spikes on the front of it, and a harpoon launcher. And it looks more like a. This is more for out of character, but it looks more like a car or a dune buggy, a small car or buggy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's larger instruments. This one's called. You got the Demon Grinder already. So that one's the one with the big fancy wrecking ball. And then lastly, there is one more that's called the Scavenger, but you learn that that's Maggie's personal vehicle, and it looks like a big. It looks like a big truck, but it has 3 wheels on it. 2 large ones in the back, 1 in the front, and it has a grappling arm as well. And through piecing together what they're saying, you learn that it's her salvage ride. And they do show you some ins and outs. An important piece of information that you learn about all of these engines is that they run on soul coins. There's like a where like a key ignition would be. Instead, there's a coin slot that you would slide the soul coin into, and it consumes the essence within it to power the engine for a number of days.
I vote on the Tormentor. That thing looks fucking sweet.
Tink would be definitely trying to think up ways to try and meld these engines and wheels and schematics and shit onto Gadget in any way he could.
That seems like it would be something that you couldn't pick up in hours, but you could start working on it for sure.
Oh, he's definitely obsessed, so he's going to when he gets any free time now.
Yep.
You
Lily
introduced him to the tech.
Lily, is there anything you find yourself doing while trying to drown out the noise coming from Mad Maggie's workshop?
I'll just talk with Lulu for a little bit and see if she's all right with how things are going and if there's any way I can help.
And sure enough, Lulu flops down into your lap and says, "Girl time!"
How are you holding up?
I'm great. Everything's great. Except for the part about we're in hell and the part about the soul coins using people's souls. That's scary. Also, those red caps, they were like dripping blood off their hats. Did anyone tell them that they need like a band-aid? And there's not enough sparkles here, and I wish there were more celestials, and everything just feels really evil. And she just starts talking. And she
I
just
keeps. I let her do it.
And she just keeps talking, and she goes, and it, like, if you had a clock, an hour would have passed as she's just telling you everything that she's been keeping in. And, lastly, she's like, also, I think you and Rhea would look really cute together married, and you'd have adorable babies.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You are too sweet for this place.
Well, it is hell.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get your memories back and your friend back too.
I hope so too. I really miss everybody. There were so many people that got lost here, I think. I feel really responsible for that.
None of it's your fault.
No, it's not. But as a Celestial, it's my duty to help make sure that good people get good results, and bad people need to be punished, and it didn't sound like the Hell Riders deserved what happened to them.
No, they didn't. But mortals are complicated creatures, too.
They are. They should be more like us, where we don't really change our alignment or viewpoint ever because it's just ingrained into us naturally.
Well, I mean, there's a beauty in being able to have, different aspects to yourself. I don't really agree with evil stuff. That's just terrible. But
evil stuff is pretty evil.
Yeah, I don't really like it.
I don't like it at all. It just feels unnatural.
Mm. But I don't know. I don't believe we'll fail. I think we'll be successful.
I believe we'll be successful too. I believe in all of you. You're all capable of doing great things. Even Valkarin, even if she scares me.
Mm.
Also, I've been meaning to ask, what are those noises coming from that workshop?
I think they're playing a game, and I'm not sure I want to think about it, what kind of game it is.
Are they hugging like you and Rhea were?
Oh, you saw that.
You were sleeping, and, that's how babies are made, from people hugging a lot.
Uh-huh.
Sweet summer man.
It's a shame that Max isn't here for this.
It's like, because a lot of that is out of like Lily's expertise. I'm just like, I don't. I mean, and then I just like sit down and spend time trying to awkwardly explain as best I can.
That doesn't sound right. It sounds gross and messy, and how does that even work?
It's probably very
With a lot of hugging.
Oh, well, I guess if hugging's involved.
And scissors.
It's like a scissors thing? Yeah, Lulu it's just like, I don't get it, but that's fine. Mortals do mortal things, I guess.
I mean, I once found this book, and I didn't know what it was about, but I was staying at a place called the Spirit Tap, and they keep stuff in there that like some people shouldn't get into, but there's one book about going to a city that was filled with doors everywhere, and they had like devils and angels, not fighting each other, and because of the type of book it was, they were hugging a lot.
Are you trying to explain the birds and the bees and the angels and the devils?
She's trying to explain sex to a celestial, yes. Lulu just blinks and shakes her head. She's like, huh, that's a great thing about books, right? A lot of times they're made up. That sounds made up. I don't think that place is real. It doesn't make any sense. Devils getting along with celestials? No. That's silly.
I mean, there'd have to be something pretty pretty dangerous to both of them. That would have to get them to work together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I imagine so, but, like, Asmodeus is a really bad dude. Why would he even listen to that?
And Lulu is immediately mazed.
Yep. Can't mace her from
Heard you
here.
talking shit.
Can't. Her powers don't work this far out.
She's never been statted. It doesn't say she can't.
Yeah, actually, she can't. Her powers only work in Sigil.
Fine.
This cage is a cage, not just for her. Not just for you.
The cage is there not to keep her from getting out. The cage is there to keep you from getting in.
Well,
I'm just expecting the
Really,
first
everyone
second
else's
we
cage.
accidentally plane shift onto Sigil, Lulu is immediately maced.
yeah. I mean, that's one way for you guys to get home. So,
I mean, I do have magic beans. I could potentially get a beanstalk that goes to another plane of existence.
you just end up in Levistus.
If I act like a dick and carve up every single demon I see, then I could get some demon hearts. They apparently allow you to cast plane shift.
Anyhoodle. So I know we ran a little bit longer, and we are at that hour mark, which is where we should stop, because the next ritual part does not have a map, and I'm going to need a map. Does it not have a
Speaking of
map?
that,
No, it doesn't have a map.
you say we got a pretty restless sleep, and
You
clearly
did not
a
gain the
long rest.
benefit. Yeah, you did not gain the benefits of a long rest.
Is there anywhere in there where we could have got a short rest, like a breather and a taco break? Or
No.
shit. Okay, guys, we're going into this ritual with no fucking key.
Well,
I'm pretty sure you could argue that
Your
you
key
got
was-
that back between like talking.
your key was well spent, though.
Yeah, considering it was one of the selling points for me to be dragged along, I don't think if I got it back, it would have been reused again instantly.
That's fair. We're gonna
I
need
meant
another hour
for
recharge.
stunning crit nut shot. That was key well spent.
Oh yeah, that was key well spent.
Anyhoodle, let's wrap this up. So we will come back next week when I have a map ready for this fun times. Also, there's just like a random nice city in here, and I'm not sure what the point of that is. Huh. I was just looking over the maps. Weird.
Can have nice things too.
Well, see, and that's what has me wondering, because what is this for? I'm really interested in what this means. I'll look this up and find out later. But for now, we're done. So, everybody say good
Cereals.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
night, folks.
Right.
Good night.